Let the good times roll with the fun of Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Bring your family, bring your friends. This is where the fun never ends. Everybody knows when you ask to change. The good times roll. Hey, Kernels, let the good times roll. Cedar and the Kernels, let the good times roll.
With the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, here's the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
Game 2 of our 8-game homestand, the second of 4 with the Minnesota Twin minor leaguers here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We welcome you into the zone. Bob Brooks and John Rogers set to bring you this evening's action, and it's 12 degrees warmer tonight than it was last night. 42 degrees was our game time temperature last evening. 54 this evening. The Kernels will try to rebound from another tough loss at home. We have been tied or leading after 5 innings in 6 of our 7 losses here at home. And last night we fell prey to the late inning problems again, giving up 4 runs to the Snappers without a hit in the top of the 6th inning. 32 batters struck out, and the Snappers beat the Kernels 4-2. Nate Sutton played in last night's Game 1, and Nate is standing by. He'll join us next as our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show here in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications Triple Play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Following last night's frigid series opener with the Beloit Snappers, we talk it over with Colonel second baseman Nate Sutton here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And Nate, the conditions were equally as challenging for both teams last night. I thought both teams competed real well, but everybody keeps asking me around Cedar Rapids this morning and this afternoon, ask the guys how cold it really was down there on the field. Is there any way, Nate, you can put that out of your mind, or is it the overriding factor in a game like last night's?
It's not the overriding factor, but it is pretty cold out there. I don't know, personally, I've never been in cold weather like that being in California. Yeah, it's on your mind, but you try to put it in the back of your mind. You could kind of feel it sometimes when you get a ball in the palm or get a ball feeling the bat, but other than that, you know, it's kind of out of your mind.
Better to be in the starting lineup last night than on the bench, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Being in the dugout, a lot colder, not getting your blood flowing. It's a lot nicer to be out in the field and running around a little bit.
Nate, you mentioned very few guys probably played in conditions like last night. You're from the state of California. 1 out of 8 Americans, I just heard on the radio today, live in the state of California. Describe the part of California you grew up in, and whether you ever experienced feeling cramped or smog or any of the things we hear about here in the Midwest, the negatives of California.
Actually, I grew up in Northern California and near San Jose in the Bay Area, and then I went to school in Southern California in UC Santa Barbara, but I don't know, I never really felt cramped or anything. It's just one thing is the traffic. There's a ton of traffic, but you get used to it. I love it there. I hope to live there for the rest of my life, but, you know, it's congested, but it's nice.
Yeah, you get used to it, and the Bay Area in particular, Nate, is known as one of the most beautiful areas to live and also one of the most desirable. A lot of people have moved to Sacramento or to San Jose, San Francisco, Oakland. What is it about that area that makes it so sought after as a place to live?
I think it's mostly the weather. It's usually between 60 and 90 at the most. It never really gets warm, never really gets really cold. yeah, you got the ocean there and everything. It's really nice conditions.
Now, you went to school at UC Santa Barbara. That's south of the Bay Area, but north of Los Angeles.
It's about an hour north of Los Angeles. Yeah, that's just one of the areas. That's even nicer than Northern California. It's perfect there. I don't know.
Right off Highway 1, the coastal highway?
Yeah, it's right next to the ocean. The school's right. Actually, you can see the ocean from the school, the campus, and everything.
Does that make it tough to bear down and study, or does it make it easier to study?
It makes it a little bit tougher, but you could, I don't know, just study on the beach or whatnot. It's kind of nice. The conditions are always there. But it's funny. You see people from California, and as soon as it rains, all of a sudden everybody disappears because they all hide out, or nobody goes to class because it's not perfect for the couple days out of the year. But
are the seas too choppy there in Santa Barbara for surfers to do their thing?
I don't surf, even though I grew up in a surfer community of Santa Cruz and went to school in Santa Barbara, which is another surfer community, but there's a lot of people that do surf.
Nate Sutton's with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, and Nate, it's been kind of hard to get a line this first month in the season on who's where. Bobby Magianis, first of all, believes in playing everybody. Secondly, we've been racked with some unexpected injuries, including a colleague and friend of yours, Josh LeBlanc. He's gone for a long time now with a broken hamate bone. Does Bobby tell you guys, Nate, this is how often you're going to play in the upcoming weeks? Does he tell you the night before? Has he told you what your role will be?
He hasn't really said anything during the season, but I don't know, before the season I was expecting to be more of a utility player. But after Josh LeBlanc's injury, I've been playing a lot more second base and haven't played third at all, which is the only position that I played last year.
You played third at Provo?
Yeah, that's all I played was third base. They moved me to second base during spring training.
How did you react to that?
I actually like it. I like it a lot. It's a lot. I have a little bit of arm trouble playing third base, so my arm's been a lot healthier this year than it was in the past.
Well, that's good because you do have to have a cannon over there at third. You can relate to how well Freddy Sandoval's played there this spring.
Oh, yeah, he's played real well there. Yeah, third base was definitely a tough position. I was moved there during college from shortstop, so I could definitely relate with how hard that is.
To the left side of the infield. Nate Sutton will join us in just, we'll rejoin Nate for the conclusion of our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show here from Veterans Memorial Stadium prior to Game 2 of our 8-game homestand. Back with Nate for a final word in a moment. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Ah, springtime. That time of year when your heating system still runs some, but it's also a time when your air conditioning may be running too. Who do you call when either of them fail? Well, never fear. The A-Team is here. The A-Team from Ahern Plumbing and Heating can inspect and ensure that your heating and cooling system is ready to go when you need it. 24 hours a day, call the A-Team from Ahern Plumbing and Heating. 393-4872. That's 393-4872 for Ahern Plumbing and Heating.
When it comes to fun in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, nothing compares to the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub. As you bask in the soothing comfort of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub, you'll be taking in the action from a breathtaking perch just above the left field wall. Register for your chance to be drawn as the winner of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub by visiting Westdale Mall.
Colonel second baseman Nate Sutton told us before our break here on the South Slope Communications Show that he was a third baseman last year for the Provo Angels. And Nate, it's no secret that we've gotten off to a little bit of a slow start offensively. We're starting to get that team batting average up towards the 240 mark. But has it strictly been the weather, or is the pitching a couple of notches better at this level than it is in rookie ball?
I definitely think the pitching is a little bit better because they throw a lot more strikes here. Last year I drew a lot of walks. Now I'm struggling to draw a walk or anything, and it seems like they have a lot more control, and it's just they have more control of their breaking stuff, which is key. I don't know. As a team, we're struggling a little bit with the bats, but we're getting better. I'm sure, we were told that everybody struggles in April, so
that's the truth. The whole league does.
Yeah. So just waiting to come out of that slump. We're slowly getting out of it. I think eventually we'll be one of the better hitting teams in the league.
Nate, I paid you a compliment, and I hope your relatives and family took it that way. Early in the season, I said Nate's a punch-and-Judy hitter, and what I meant by that is a punch-and-Judy hitter is a guy that doesn't go up and swing from his heels every time, and he puts the bat on the ball. And when you put the bat on the ball at any level of professional baseball, good things usually happen.
That was definitely my approach last year, and definitely trying to do that this year. I've kind of gotten in the way of that a little bit just because I'm struggling early, but eventually that probably does describe me right now, but eventually it'll be more relevant, hopefully.
Nate, do you hang in just as well against lefties as you do righties as a left-handed batter?
I usually do pretty well off lefties. Actually, they make me hit the ball the other way, which is primarily what I do with the ball. I haven't been doing that as much this year, but hopefully I'll improve and hit a little better off lefties than I have been.
Well, finally, Nate, your father works for the world's biggest, I think, and well-known elevator company. We came up to this broadcast booth for the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on an Otis elevator. What does your dad do for Otis?
He's a supervisor for, I believe it's modernization, which is one of the 3 sectors of the company, and basically it just makes everything modernized, basically, from the older elevators. He's kind of in charge of that in the San Jose area.
Not too dangerous to work, I hope.
No, he's actually in the office, so.
Well, Nate, thank you so much. I know your host family, Mark Hochkrafer and Michelle Hochkrafer, they're wonderful people, and they, as well as the entire Kernel Clubhouse, know that Zio Giano's is one of the best places to eat here in eastern Iowa. We want to present you with this $5 gift certificate, Nate Sutton, to use at any of our Zio Giano's. Relaxed, fine dining atmosphere. They have pasta, calzones, pizza, sandwiches, and, of course, the best in things such as lasagna and spaghetti at Zio Giano's, the hometown taste of Italy, with two new locations here in the area. Nate Sutton, thanks for joining us, and continued success to you and the Kernels.
Thank you, John.
That's Nate Sutton, Kernel second baseman, our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest. Up next, Game 2, Kernels and Beloit. Bob Brooks and I will set the lineups after this. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center reminds you, this Sunday is Mother's Day. Remember your mom with something pretty from Peck's. Your mom will be delighted when she receives flowers and plants from Peck's. Peck's large selection of beautiful fresh flowers is excellent. The best selection in eastern Iowa. Choose from one of Peck's many thoughtful fresh flower bouquets, growing plants, and home and garden accents. Peck's is filled with unique gift items for you to choose from, or bring Mom to Peck's. Let her choose her own gift. Of course, there is always a Peck's gift certificate in all the right sizes. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, at the corner of Blairsburg and Edgewood Roads Northeast, growing with eastern Iowa since 1956. They're open Monday through Fridays 8 to 8, weekends till 5. Plenty of easy parking.
With abundant sunshine and a light breeze blowing from left to right, the Kernels are ready to tangle with the Beloit Snappers in the second game of a 4-game series. It's part of an 8-game Kernel homestand. Managers Kevin Bowles for Beloit, he's just 30 years old, and Kernel manager Bobby Magallanes, who is featured in an article Bob and I will talk about during this broadcast, a front-page article in the Cedar Rapids Gazette this morning in the sports section. Bobby is out at home plate turning in his lineup card. And with conditions 12 degrees warmer than last night's frigid game-time temperature of 42, let's set the starting lineups for both ball clubs. First, for the Minnesota Twin minor leaguers, the Beloit Snappers. Their record is now 12 up and 12 down, good enough for third place in the Midwest League's Western Division first-half standings. The first 2 batters in Beloit's lineup didn't play in their 4-2 win last night. That includes the center fielder leading off, Terrence Patterson. Batting second from Australia, Luke Hughes. Hughes bats second and plays second base. The designated hitter for the Snappers bats third. That's Deacon Burns. David Winfrey will bat cleanup and play third base for Beloit. A Canadian, Mark Zamwish will hit fifth. Zamwish is at first base. Hitting sixth, he's out of Galesburg, Illinois. In right field, Jeremy Pickrell Pickrell went to school at Illinois State. Trevor Plouffe was the first-round pick of the Twins last year. Plouffe is the shortstop, batting 7th. Hitting 8th, he didn't play in last night's series opener, the catcher, Corey Feiner. And batting 9th, another newcomer in the snapper lineup. He's making his Beloit debut tonight, Dwayne White in left field. On the hill for Beloit is a right-hander, Anthony Swarzak, S-W-A-R-Z-A-K. Anthony's 1-2 on the year with an ERA of 5.32. A Minnesota Twins second-round pick last year out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He's 20 years old. Anthony Swarzak, 6'4", 200 pounds, making his 6th start of the year for Beloit, a record of 1-2. That's how the Snappers will approach tonight's second game of the series. Allen Motor Company is now proud to present the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup. Allen's would like to thank everyone that took part in their fabulous spring cleanup sale. It was a rousing success at the campus, and Allen's reminds you to view all of their inventory online at their website. That's www.allenmotor.com. With the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, here's Hall of Fame sportscaster Bob Brooks.
How you doing, everybody, and welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium, where tonight it'll be the Beloit Snappers and the Cedar Rapids Kernels. We're going to have a fun night at the old ballpark because as we ended last night in the frigid temperatures, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. And tonight, as we give you the starting lineup, I can't see a cloud anywhere. So maybe on a clear and a little bit warmer night, the Cedar Rapids Kernels will have a success with a W. So here it is, the starting 9 for the Kernels. Leading off and playing center field, the G-Man, Richard Giannotti. Batting second, the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez. At third base, Freddy Sandoval. The DH will be Toussaint. Toussaint, who has made a nice impression here with a .353 batting average and 7 runs driven in, is the number 4 hitter. At first base, he didn't play last night, plays tonight, Michael Collins. Warner Madrigal is in right field. He was out practicing long toss before the game from 378 feet to the foul line and right. He wanted to show Bill Stoneman he still has that gun for an arm. Well, we'll see if he does when they get it on the field for real tonight. Tommy Duenas will be the catcher. Jordan Rentz will be in the outfield. And Billy Boyer at second base. The pitcher tonight for Cedar Rapids is Jesse Smith. He's won 1, lost none. He's pitched 16 innings and given up 16 hits, 17 strikeouts against only 3 walks. That's a plus. For complete games, no, but he has a 2.25 ERA. Very, very respectable. So the Kernels are getting ready to take on Beloit, trailing in the series 1-0, 4 games under 500, as the Kernels take the field.
Thanks, Bob, for setting that Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup and painting what is a very bright, sunshiny picture here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The members of the Cost Cutters Dream Team are from Erskine Elementary School. They're our Spotlight Elementary School this evening. They're out on the diamond, and they're getting a thrill of their lifetime as the Kernels autograph their Cost Cutter logo baseballs. Dale Broad is our public address announcer, and after this word from Wendy's, Dale will introduce the Erskine Eagle Energy. They're a fabulous singing group led by Nancy Erickson. I had the pleasure of meeting Nancy 2 years ago when Erskine was the school I had. And now let's join Nancy Erickson's leading of her Erskine Eagle Energy kids right behind the dirt batting circle facing the backstop. They'll sing the Star Spangled Banner. fabulous, uplifting singing of the national anthem by Erskine School's Eagle Energy under the direction of Nancy Erickson. It is a marvelous night for baseball. Cool, but not frigid like it was last evening. Let's hope the Kernels, as Bob said, can chalk up a W and kind of get going at home where we've lost 7 of 9. Up next, the play-by-play. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Let's listen in as Mercy Medical Center presents Maddie Belding and Johnny Menke. They're from Erskine Elementary. They have the most magical words in baseball to utter here in just a moment. Mercy Medical Center presenting our play ball kids, and let's hear them announced here in just a moment. Here they are. Well, not quite yet. Anderson and Brown Eye Care presents our umpiring crew. Mike Weinstein will call the balls and strikes, and his partner on the diamond is Sean Francis. Now let's listen to the Mercy Medical Center play ball kids utter the most important words in baseball.
Maddie Belding and Johnny Menke from Erskine School will proclaim the most welcome words in baseball.
Well, Bob, Willie Stargell used to say it's play ball, not work ball.
Well, in this day and age, it's work ball for some.
Yes, it is, with the year-round conditioning. And let's hope the Kernels can take some pressure off themselves with Bill Stoneman, the Angel GM in town, along with Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim minor league farm director Tony Regans. Both were out on the diamond at 3:30 and stayed out on the diamond for all the Kernel batting practice and pregame routines of fundamental drilling. Terrence Patterson is going to be the leadoff batter against 24-year-old right-hander Jesse Smith. Jesse pitched brilliantly Thursday in Davenport and leading the Kernels to a 4-1 win against the Swing of the Quad City. He hurled 5 shutout innings, giving up 3 hits in 5 innings, struck out 1, walked none. Patterson's a little guy, a right-handed batter. And Jesse fires a strike called. I'm going to look at what they list Patterson at, Bob, but he looks to me. There's a ground ball to short. Sean Rodriguez charges. It rolls up his arm, and that'll be an error on the Colonel shortstop. The ball ends up in shallow left center where Sean retrieves it. And Jesse Smith is in a tough spot as Terrence Patterson was jammed and rolled one to short. It crawled up Sean's arm, and that's the 6th error of the season committed by the 20-year-old Colonel shortstop. Jesse Smith pitching inside effectively, and unfortunately that roller to short was mishandled. Now here's Australian Luke Hughes. He's a right-handed batter. Yeah, Bob, we talked about it last year here on the air. Baseball is the toughest sport to master, therefore it takes the longest to master.
Well, you take the NBA. They would put a coach out there, and he'd take a look, and 10 minutes he can tell you, hey, this guy can either play or he can't play.
But in baseball, it takes generally, it can take up to 4 years for an organization to make up their mind about someone.
Or 5, or 6.
In the case of Sandy Koufax, it did take 6 or 7 years. Koufax languished on the Brooklyn Dodger bench as a bonus baby signee, and a lot of ill will was created among the Brooklyn Dodgers. Why are we carrying this kid who can't hit the broadside of a barn? There goes the runner. A pitch, a ball. The throw to second is high, and it's a stolen base for Terrence Patterson. Just like that, an error and a steal, and the Snappers have a runner at second with nobody out. A 2-0 count now on Luke Hughes. Hughes didn't play last night. He's a .235 hitter. from Australia. He's 20 years old.
Kevin Bowles, the skipper at Beloit, is giving Bobby Magianis a dose of his own running.
Yeah, Beloit's tied for 6th in the league in steals. The Kernels lead the league. The 2-0 from Jesse is swung on and missed. Smith came down and in with a fastball. As Bob said, Jesse Smith has pitched well. 5 relief appearances, and then the 4-1 win is his first start of the season in Davenport, an ERA of 2.25. Jesse wears his Red Sox up high and comes set at the belt. And a pitch is swung on and tipped foul into the glove of Tommy Duenas. That's strike 2. Similar situation here tonight as last night, Bob. That is, the batter is handicapped somewhat. He's standing in the shadows cast by the grandstand roof, and Jesse Smith is standing in bright, bright sunlight.
And the outfield for the Kernels doesn't respect the hitting ability of Hughes.
No, they're playing very shallow and the other way. Hughes pounds one foul off his foot. One thing about Australian guys, and we have a couple in the game, Michael Collins at first, Hughes the batter. Bob, they are a different breed. They truly are tougher kids in a lot of different cultures.
Well, I think, too, there is more competition in sport in Australia than a lot of people realize.
Oh, yes.
No matter what the sport is.
Well, take rugby, for instance.
Yes, or cricket.
Yes.
It goes on for days.
You better be tough to play those two sports. The 2-2 to Hughes, a right-handed batter. Chop to third. This will be a tough play for Freddy Sandoval. He'll throw late, and it's an infield single or possibly an error. Freddy bobbled it, looked the runner back to second, but then lost the handle, and sure enough, Luke Hughes beat it out. If you're Jesse Smith, Bob, you have to be scratching your head saying, E6, E5, what do I got to do to record an out here in the first half inning as the Kernels continue to play very unsure of themselves in front of the watchful eyes of Angel General Manager Bill Stoneman and Farm Director Tony Regans.
Well, the idea, I guess, is to put a fly ball to the outfield.
Then we'll catch it. It's only the second error on the season for Freddie. He could not find the handle after he gloved it. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Deacon Burns, the batter. Deacon played in last night's series opener, and he was 2 for 5. Reached on a fielder's choice that drove in a run in the Beloit 4-run 6th inning last night. Bob, I found out where Jones's Northern State University is. It's in South Dakota. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and it was
northern schools in South Dakota.
Right. Remember,
well, that fits.
We said it couldn't be in Texas.
Oh, no, or Louisiana.
No. 0-2 as Jesse Smith will try to pitch around a couple of errors committed by the left side of his infield. Freddy Sandoval playing way off the line for the left-handed hitting Deacon Burns. He's only 5'8". Now the 0-2. Low and in,
and that's the way to get him out. Strike him out.
Winfrey hits one to second. Could be 2. Second to short for 1. Rodriguez to first completes the double play. Billy Boyer started the double play, and Sean Rodriguez hung in there very well at second. When the shortstop Rodriguez got that throw from Boyer, the runner coming from first to second, Luke Hughes, was right in the knees and legs of Sean Rodriguez. But what a fabulous double play. 4-6-3 turned by Boyer, Sean, and Michael Collins.
That's the most important thing for Jesse Smith. That, as he was pitching well, gets him out of the inning without any damage and would set him up now, I would think, for a solid pitching performance.
Well, he did just that, Bob. He pitched around 2 errors and a stolen base. After one half inning, Beloit nothing. The Kernels coming up, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
What is ESPN Radio? It's not that hard. You're a sports fan? This is the sports station. It's ESPN. That means sports. The games, the experts, the analysis, the scores, the highlights, the people who know their stuff. It's good conversation. It's ESPN. It's radio. You know, the box that all the sounds come out of. At your home, in your car, where you work, even in your computer. It's everywhere you go. It's radio. It's ESPN. It's ESPN Radio. That's all it is.
And it is done. We attack at lunch.
No, they will expect that. We attack at dinner too.
Excellent. They will never expect a second wave of warriors.
We must prepare.
They will be waiting.
With fresh meat and vegetables on a large table.
And we will be swift in our actions.
choosing only the finest of their offerings.
Piling them high in a bowl.
Then cooking them fast on a sizzling grill.
And then we eat.
Gaze upon your fresh meats and vegetables for the final time.
The attack will be successful, and we will be satisfied.
The plan is done.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, hey, Valerie. Yeah, we're just getting ready for lunch at Genghis Grill. You want to go?
Yes, to Genghis Grill. Probably no to you two.
Okay. She is a spy.
And not nearly as hot as she thinks she is.
Fresh food attack.
Genghis Grill, where Edgewood Road meets Williams Boulevard in Cedar Rapids, next to Gander Mountain.
After Jesse Smith pitches around a couple of errors, gets a strikeout and a double play, the Colonels should have some momentum as they come to the plate against another tall pitcher, Bob, Anthony Swarzak from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
He is 6'4", 200 pounds, and Baseball America says that he has a rather high opinion of himself as a pitcher, but he is 1-2. So we'll see what he's got.
And so will the leadoff batter, Richard Giannotti, switch hitter batting left. Richard shoots one foul into the screen. Strike one. The Colonel team batting average now stands at .233. That's tied for last in the league, but the Colonels have shown signs recently of coming out of their early season hitting doldrums. Giannotti tried to lay a bunt down as he did in the ninth inning last night, and he bunts foul. Behind the plate, Richard in the hole, 0-2.
Well, Giannotti, by way of the bunt, has taken his average from barely 200 to 280.
With no homers and 2 RBIs, Richard batting left-handed, a switch hitter.
I want to see him hit a home run.
Well, that'll come. I think it will, Bob. Let's see what he did last year at Provo. He hit 3 of them. There's ball one low. A changeup from Anthony Swarzak. He's flanked by David Winfrey to his right. Winfrey's at third. Mark Zamweich is at first for the visiting Snappers. Up the middle, Trevor Plouffe at short. Luke Hughes at second. The 6'4" right-handers, 1-2. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Richard Giannotti is rung up by plate umpire Mike Weinstein.
That was a good fastball by Swarzak. He put that one right over the height of the plate, had some smoke on it. That's a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Sean Rodriguez now bats 1 for 3 with a walk last night. Sean is hitting .232. We got a wonderfully uplifting email from Sean's father, who's in the Florida Marlin organization, Johnny Rodriguez. Johnny proudly wears that World Series ring the Marlins won 2 seasons ago, and I'm going to read a sentence or two from Johnny Rodriguez's email here in a moment as his son Sean, a right-handed batter, takes low. Now ball 2 is high. Johnny Rodriguez writes that last year he flew to Provo and saw in person that this ball club has character. Johnny says, trust me, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Well, Johnny, we agree with your optimism. The 2-0. A high pop-up to the right side of the infield. Luke Hughes battling the sun. And Luke Hughes backpedaling makes the catch in shallow right. For just a moment, Bob, that sun almost did in the second baseman.
Yes, he went back, drifted, and then had to lunge backward to finally take it. Those gloves are ample size, to say the least, these days, and that helped out. We don't have any wind here tonight. Again, it's a test tube evening at the ballpark.
Boy, that's a good term to describe it, Bob. You could picture postcard perfect as far as clarity or how clear it is. It's still on the cool side as a curveball drops in low to Freddy Sandoval. His bunt single last night in the 5th inning helped the Kernels extend their lead to 2-0. Freddy was 1 for 2. A fastball is upstairs to the switch hitter with a .292 average.
John, I think when you're here in Cedar Rapids, you could go out and sell the temperature for your temperature.
Oh, the sponsorship.
Reading. Why, certainly.
Well, now that we have this handy-dandy thermometer from Radio Shack, it's a little square.
Well, go tell them to give you $50 and we'll talk about them.
Well, that's from the old $1 a holler book, Bob. And
that's where I came from.
That's right. It sure worked. I heard here's ball 4 to Freddy Sandoval. Bob, I heard an interesting vignette. I love listening to public radio when I have a chance, and they did a vignette on some of the first commercial radio stations down in the border between Texas and Mexico, and boy, they peddled everything on the radio for $1 a holler, and you would send in to buy little chickens and get your horoscope read or by an astrologist. I think it was called Rio, R-I-O, Rio, Texas.
Del Rio, Texas.
So you either heard the vignette or you know about it.
Oh, I know about it. Yes. Del Rio, Texas is really in Mexico.
That's what they said.
Transmitter is in Mexico, so they could advertise everything illegal.
Under the sun, exactly.
Yeah.
Bob, I didn't know that you had heard of that. Ball 1 to Drew Toussaint. Now ball 2. Drew Toussaint, as Bob said in the introduction of the Allen Motor Company Colonel lineup, has been just terrific since joining the ball club. Drew hitting a team-high .353. No homers, 7 RBIs. The catcher...
I think they were selling chicks for $1.
Yes, little baby chickens.
Yes.
That's exactly...
And the fellow who was doing it was from Iowa.
That I didn't know. That was not...
That's the end of my story. I'd have to... I don't know what the name was at the moment. I'll bet you somebody out there does.
Oh, sure. Well, that was it. Del Rio, Texas, and the transmitter was in Mexico because... At that time, the FCC was in its infancy, and they were very strict on what you could advertise and sell over the radio, but not if the transmitter was in a foreign country.
Well, that's where the license is, at the transmitter site.
Del Rio, Texas. Drew Toussaint took a strike.
Signal used to come up at night up the Mississippi just like it was next door.
Yeah, that's what I understand. Toussaint can't pull the trigger on a fastball on the outside corner. It's 2-2 to Drew. Freddy Sandoval at first. He's drawn a 2-out walk here in the first inning. No score.
Toussaint, when we gave you the lineup, batting .353. He has 7 runs driven in, and he's had 4 doubles.
Swing and a miss on a slider. So Drew Toussaint down swinging to end the Colonel first, and after 1 inning on Erskine Elementary School night, it's the Kernels and Snappers. No score. And you're tuned to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
How would you like your next home buying or selling experience and lending process to be handled beautifully under one roof? If that's the way you want your real estate and mortgage needs to be met, select Todd Financial Services. Securing your loan and helping you find or sell your home is what Todd Financial Services does better than traditional banks and real estate firms. You'll be fully informed, supported, and taken care of so that buying, selling, or financing your home will be a pleasurable experience. Todd Financial Services, eager to meet all of your mortgage and real estate needs under one roof.
You save big money, when you shop Menards.
This Mother's Day, treat Mom to a gift that she can enjoy all summer. A beautiful new set of patio furniture from Menards. Save big on a wide selection of styles, including cedar, wicker, wrought iron, and padded sets of outdoor furniture that Mom will love to relax in this summer. All at guaranteed low Menards prices. Menards also has a great selection of decorative ponds, fountains, and planters. Perfect for Mom's garden. Right now, all Sunterra resin fountains are on sale for 20% off. Brighten Mom's day with a colorful 10-inch hanging flower basket, just $5.98. Or, if you just can't decide, give a Menards gift card. Available in stores and at Menards.com. For great Mother's Day gifts, shop Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
With Bob Brooks, John Rogers, after 1 inning, no score. Bob, there was a scoring change in the Beloit first half inning.
Yes, there was, as Luke Hughes is now credited on that ground ball that went to the third baseman. He's credited with a single and taken air off Sandoval's stats for the night.
So 1 error in the first inning. It was charged to Sean Rodriguez. No score.
A fellow emailed me from Kansas City, well, from even west of Kansas City, my West Coast correspondent, he said he was perusing the box scores of Major League games, and he said he's getting a lot of BS in the scoring.
Oh,
blown save.
Blown save. Okay, I thought the BS as in, you know what, BS?
Yes.
Blown save. Now, is that at the Major League level?
Yes.
Well, I'll concur with that. It's getting tougher and tougher to keep closers healthy, as evidenced by Jason Isringhausen. He's been lost 2-0 to Mark Zamwich, a .347 hitter. Jesse Smith's next pitch is in the dirt, ball 3, a changeup. Zamwich with 3 homers, 11 RBIs. He's a 24-year-old from the University of British Columbia. Imagine how beautiful it must be going to school up there in Canada.
And he has a beautiful batting average at .347.
Jesse hurls a strike. Zamwich singled in the first inning last night. He walked in the 5th. He was 1 for 4. Mark Zamwich, 24-year-old left-handed batter, does not wear batting gloves and takes a fastball high, a leadoff walk issued by the Kernel starter, Jesse Smith. Well, Bob, BS means blown save, and that brings up the point about these closers. People forget that not only do they have to come in and close a game, but some nights they have to get up and warm up as though they might come in, and then the manager may not use them. So some closers throw hard 4 days a week when you count the bullpens. And sure, they're only asked at the big league level to go 1 inning for the most part, but that still can take a real toll on your elbow.
Well, it can if you want to get them out.
That's right.
Because you've got to throw your very, very best.
And your very hardest if you're a power pitcher, say like Troy Percival of the Tigers. Ball 1 inside to Jeremy Pickrell. This fella's from Illinois State, and he went to high school in Galesburg. Pickrell on this cool Tuesday evening is playing bare-armed. Jeremy wears a pair of white batting gloves. He had an infield single in the first inning last night, went 1 for 4. He's a big fella, a throw to first, and diving back in safely with 5 steals and 6 tries is Mark Zamwich. Spells his last name Z-A-M-O-J-C. Michael Collins is holding Zamwich. Jesse Smith looks over there. Comes set below the belt. The next pitch is fouled straight back here to our left, down below.
And so far in this game, we have not had a hard-hit ball.
Well, when it's this chilly, the batters are just a little bit less likely to really turn it loose every swing, because if they do, they could wind up with a vibrating sting in their palm of their hand or their fingers that would last the rest of the night. The runner at first draws a throw, and he dives back safely. That was pretty close. Getting back was Zamwich.
And the infield at double play depth.
The outfield is playing Pickrell to hit the other way. I mean, Richard Giannotti has shifted way around into left center. Huge gap between he and Warner Madrigal. Madrigal's battling a tough sun field in right. It's 400 feet to dead center here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, an 8-foot-high green padded wall. There's a throw to first high, and the runner back safely. We do have a group out on the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion in left field. They're still basking in a little bit of sunshine, the National Electrical Contractors Association. So I guess, Bob, if the lights go out, we'll be in good shape tonight.
Well, they can light a candle.
That's right. They can light a candle. Long look by Smith. The 1-1 is hammered into right. That's a base hit. Let's see if
the best hit of the early going here. That ball was hit pretty solid.
Right between Boyer and Collins. Zamwich turned at second but held on. And for the second straight inning, the Snappers have runners at first and second with nobody out. The batter is Trevor Plouffe, and I would guess, Bob, and I was wrong last night. I thought that John Bowles would bunt early in the game. He did not, but I would guess that Plouffe with a .095 average he'll be asked to lay one down.
I would think so. Certainly the third baseman and first baseman of the Kernels, Sandoval and Collins, think so. They're on the edge of the grass. The shortstop and second baseman halfway in, and the fake at second. Yes, congratulations to the Electrical Contractors of America for coming out tonight.
And they are having fun out on the left field pavilion, the Randy Keel.
Nice group.
Ball one is inside to Plouffe, P-L-O-U-F-F-E rather, Trevor Plouffe. Trevor has a homer, 5 RBIs. He's only 18 years old. There aren't too many 18-year-olds in this league. A hard hit smash to Boyer. Billy has it. Flips to Rodriguez for one. Sean to first to complete another Colonel 4-6-3 double play. Well, Bob.
Second double play, and he didn't bunt.
Yeah, so much for our giving Kevin Bowles, the 30-year-old skipper, advice. Plouffe did hit it hard, a one-hop rocket to Billy Boyer, and he started the 6-4-3 twin killing. On to third went Mark Zamwich, and can Jesse Smith get out of this second inning unscathed? We'll see. The batter is Corey Feiner. Feiner, in 11 games, hitting 111, no homers, 1 RBI. Right-handed hitting catcher, takes high for a ball.
And it's no runs, 2 hits. Beloit, no runs, no hits. Cedar Rapids.
Top of the hour, 7 o'clock here in eastern Iowa. The 1-0 to the catcher is a curve of beauty, a strike to Feiner. Corey spells his last name F-E-I-N-E-R. And he's from a Division III powerhouse, Wisconsin Oshkosh.
And he's 5'10", 215, and his home is Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Very familiar spot.
Near Madison, right?
Yes.
Swinging
right outside.
Swing and a miss by Corey Feiner. He's 23 years old.
The highway doesn't go there anymore.
The 1-2 to Corey Feiner. Popped in the air near the pitching mound. Michael Collins comes sauntering in, and using his glove to shield the sun, Michael Collins hauls it in. Hey, Jesse Smith again puts the first 2 reach against the Colonel right-hander, but the Snappers fail to score. No runs for Beloit in the second. 1 hit, a walk. The Colonels turn to double play, their second of the young evening. The Snappers leave a runner. They've left a pair. The Colonels come to bat in the lower half of the second in a scoreless duel with the Snappers. This is Colonel Baseball in the zone.
The way to pocket important savings is to take advantage of Chevron motor oils and lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Otson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Otson Oil Company at www.otson.com.
Kraft Pizza and the Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vee stores are making it easy for you to treat your entire team after the game. All varieties of Tombstone Pizza, original thin crust, half and half light, Mexican, All-American, and brick oven are on sale at area Hy-Vee stores, 3 for $9.99. Tombstone Pizza has a variety to please everyone's taste, and sale price such as 3 for $9.99. You won't want to miss this sale. Kraft Pizza and the Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vee stores, proud sponsors of area high school athletics.
When it comes to retirement planning, think big. Think about an individual retirement account from Farm Bureau Financial Services. Call Donna Mooney in Cedar Rapids to find out how an IRA can allow you to defer taxes until you retire. You have big plans for retirement. To help you get there, think Farm Bureau Financial Services and call Donna Mooney in Cedar Rapids. Farm Bureau Financial Services, more than you think. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, West Des Moines, Iowa.
First baseman Michael Collins, whose grandparents and folks love listening in on the internet down in Australia, will lead it off. Michael hitting .250 on the young season, right-handed batter with power, no homers, 2 RBIs. Michael played in 33 games with the Kernels last year, hit .218, a homer, 12 runs driven in. He didn't play last night. Collins, Madrigal, and Duenas, 3 right-handed batters to face tall right-hander Anthony Swarzak. Beloit's in gray road uniforms with dark blue socks, green hats, and dark blue bills. First pitch to Collins. A beautiful yellow hammer, that's strike 1 called, and Michael's in the hole 0-1. They play him straight away. Sun is still shining brightly, and the flag above the 403 sign is motionless. There's another beautiful curveball, strike 2. You have that kind of command at this level, and you've got something going for you.
Well, we have 2 hot air balloons over the ballpark at about, well, they're 3,500 to 4,000 feet, I would think, up there.
Bob, they are.
That's higher than they normally go.
They sure are, and they're rainbow colored.
Great view.
Oh, boy, you bet. I'd love... Well, I'll bring something up on that front here in a moment.
So will I.
Okay. We both got a couple of stories or comments. Hey, Michael Collins on a 1-2 pitch was drilled, and the Bank Iowa speed pitch indicator said 94 miles an hour. You know, there's that point again, Bob. Australian kids are tough, and Michael Collins never even looked at the pitcher, and he's aboard on a hit batsman. Bob, I remember hearing that Lindsey Nelson, the late Lindsey Nelson, the voice of the New York Mets, once broadcast a game from the Astrodome, not from a hot air balloon, but from a gondola about 600 feet over the field. Did you ever hear that?
Well, it could have, it certainly could have been done. I should think it, I did a basketball game, a couple of basketball games at the Astrodome from courtside.
Okay.
And the court was put up, it was elevated, and consequently you were looking at shoes all of the time.
Oh, brother, I want to hear
I wanted to sell ads on the bottom of the guy's foot.
Bob, what's your story with hot air balloons?
Well, the story is that, you know, and I hate to use that term, but many times hot air balloon people in the Cedar Rapids area give away a hot air balloon ride at the silent auctions or something for charity around the area. Well, one time they gave away a hot air balloon ride, all right, and they took it, and all of a sudden the wind came up, and all of these hot air balloons have a chaser, a man or a family on the ground that drives a truck.
I never knew that.
Flatbed truck to chase, because when the balloon comes down, that's it.
You have to unload.
You're done.
You debark.
Yes, hopefully. Well, the wind came up, and the balloon was blown away from Cedar Rapids. And the wind was coming out of the west and the north, and they were on their way to dear old Burlington. With the chaser.
A 1-2 pitch to Warner Madrigal is a curve in the dirt. Michael Collins will make it to second. Michael challenged the Beloit catcher, Corey Feiner, and Corey couldn't come up with that pitch in the dirt with his bare hand. And if he could have, Michael Collins might have been a goner, but Michael advances to second. There's that Kernel aggressive base running, a wild pitch charge to Anthony Swarzak, his third of the season, and Warner Madrigal has now a chance to at least get Michael Collins to third if he can take the ball on the ground the other way, or perhaps drive him home with a base hit. No score, but the Kernels have a runner at second with nobody out in the second inning. Warner Madrigal on a 2-2 count. Take strike 3 called. He knew it. Warner Madrigal was looking for something other than a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Well, Bob, did the hot air balloons actually go all the way to Burlington?
No, didn't get to Burlington.
How do you...
you have to release the gas.
Okay.
And come down. Well, they came down all right, and it was late in the growing season, and they came down in a farmer's cornfield, which meant they took a lot of corn out.
Oh, boy.
But that wasn't the end of it. The farmer thought that he was being invaded.
A UFO?
Yeah.
By aliens. Tommy Duenas takes a strike, so I bet he got on and called 911.
Well, he did better than that. He was going to fight him right at the outset. He came out with a shotgun and was going to take care of the aliens right there.
Oh, Bob, that is a great story about a hot air balloon trip gone awry.
Yeah, quite awry.
Bob, I wonder, now that here's ball 1 to Duenas, 1-1, Florida just passed a law that if you feel that your safety's in danger, you can make that preemptive strike with a gun. By legal rights in Florida, that guy could have shot the hot air balloon.
Well, he could have, but the chaser was right there to calm the situation.
Oh, brother. The 1-1 to Duenas, the curve is low and away. We're in the bottom of the second inning. The Kernels and Snappers no score. Michael Collins started this inning when he was hit by a pitch on a 2-strike count. Advanced to second on a pitch in the dirt from Swarzak, the right-hander. Madrigal struck out looking, and now Tommy Duenas, who had one of the Colonel hits last night, one of our 6 hits, has a chance for an RBI.
And to get that batting average up over 200.
A high fly ball down the left field line. It's shallow, and the shortstop, about 35 feet down the line and left in fair ground, has it. Trevor Plouffe, the shortstop, caught it. Boy, Tommy Duenas hit that thing a third of the way to those hot air balloons. That's how high it was. Bob, approximately what year did this crazy incident happen? Was it recently?
No, not recently. But I would think within, the last 15 years.
Did you happen to hear about it through the media, or did it make the newspaper, or did a friend tell you?
Well, we kept it quiet.
Okay. Till now.
It was a friend, yeah.
Jordan Wren's the batter. Jordan has a homer, 8 RBIs.
It was a little embarrassing.
Well, sure, it is for both the balloon company and for the farmer, not to mention the poor aliens.
But by the same token, the farmer is burned up not because of the balloon coming down, but the crop was ruined. So they had to come up with, they had to negotiate a price on the downed corn.
Oh, brother. Maybe that's where crop circles come from. The 1-0, and it's hacked foul off to the right by Jordan Wren's, 1-1. Well, that's some story. I can't top that. My cousin did something kind of, I think, a little, some women would say romantic. I think kind of nutty. He proposed to his second wife in a hot air balloon. And I guess if she said no, there was one way to go.
Well, maybe he had a parachute.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if Jordan Wren's can break this early scoreless tie. Jordan's a right-handed batter from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Swarzak misses just high, ball 2. Physicians Clinic of Iowa, proud to bring us our Colonel injury report. Nick Touchstone was due to start in this series, but Nick is recovering from some bicep tendonitis. And good news from Colonel trainer Eric Munson, Nick should miss just one start. In fact, he did a little bit of light tossing earlier today. The 2-1 to Wren's. A little looper into left. It'll be caught by Dwayne White. Dwayne is there, and that does it in the Colonel's second. Jordan Wren's was jammed and was strong enough to fist it in the air to left. But the Colonels had a runner at second with nobody out and left him there. No runs, no hits, the hit batter. There were no snapper errors. The Colonels leave a runner, and we've stranded 2 in 2 innings. As we head to the third on Erskine Elementary School night, the Colonels and Snappers no score. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' newest full-service landscaping center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowa wholesalers for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road behind Guppy's on the Go. Along with their garden center and brand new floral shop, Cedar Rapids Greenhouses offers a full selection of landscaping products and services. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home improvement efforts. They will work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. If you want to do it yourself, walk through their expansive 4-acre in-town location and choose from a wide variety of trees, shrubs, or blooming plants. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of annuals, perennials, and a variety of magnolias, maples, and lilacs. For the highest quality and wholesale prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's newest garden center, floral shop, and full-service landscapers. Corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Roads Northwest.
I'm a 9th-year college senior. I need 2 more credits to graduate. I've needed those credits for 5 years. Sure, I could take ceramics, cooking, Yiddish, done. 2 credits right there. But no, I choose to stay in college. Go State! Go State! Let me tell you something. You're jealous of me. I gotta rest up before the pep rally, know what I mean? Oh, wait, you don't.
Go back to college with ESPNU and ESPNU.com. Division I football and basketball matchups and major college championships. Never graduate.
No score as we go to the third inning. The Colonel record overall, 10-14. The Colonels are 6th in the 8-team Western Division first half standing. Jesse Smith is sure pitched out of trouble well in the first 2 innings. The Snappers put their first 2 men on in the first inning on an air and infield single. But Jesse struck out the next batter looking, then got a double play. Beloit's leadoff man in the second walked. The next batter singled into second, but then the Kernels turned their second 4-6-3 twin killing. So Jesse will face Dwayne White. He's making his Beloit debut this evening. Freddy Sandoval shortens up at third and guarding against a possible bunt attempt by Dwayne White. This fella's from the University of Kansas, left-handed batter. And he bounces one hard back to the mound. Jesse Smith stabs and throws the batter out. Dwayne White smacked it on one hop back to Jesse Smith, who has fielded his position very, very well in his first two starts. Jesse shined in the field, retiring 2 or 3 fellas on comebackers on Thursday night in Davenport. Bob Brooks is headed over to the media area to get a word with Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim General Manager Bill Stoneman. I'm glad Bob's had a chance to go over and speak to Bill for a little bit. Ball one is high to Terrence Patterson. No score. We're in the top of the third inning on Erskine Elementary School night. Physicians Clinic of Iowa gave us our Kernel injury report a moment ago, with Nick Touchstone sidelined, hopefully for just a short time, with a tender bicep in his throwing arm. Physicians Clinic of Iowa is the exclusive health care provider of the Kernels. Quality health care close to home right here in Cedar Rapids. Physicians Clinic of Iowa. Fouling one off to the right is the leadoff batter, Terrence Patterson. Now he swings and misses, strike 2. Physicians Clinic of Iowa has 50 board-certified physicians who provide quality health care in 11 specialties. Right 3 to Terrence Patterson. And Jesse Smith could be on his way to his first 1-2-3 inning of the evening. Luke Hughes will now bat. Luke reached on what was originally charged an error on Freddy Sandoval in the first, then the official score changed it to an infield single. Luke Hughes from Australia. Game time temperature was 54 degrees. It's now 53. A bunt in the air. Jesse Smith calls it, and Jesse Smith catches it. Between the mound and the third base line, it was a fair ball. Jesse Smith glided over effortlessly to his right, and between the mound and the third base line, halfway up the line, Jesse Smith caught the pop-up, the bunt, by Luke Hughes to end the inning. Jesse Smith almost single-handedly took care of the Snappers. A comebacker, a strikeout, and then a pop-up on a bunt attempt. And Jesse does indeed record his first 1-2-3 inning of this evening. The Kernels come to bat in the bottom of the third. It's still 0-0 between the Kernels and Beloit. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here in the Zone.
We've been telling you for some time that Greg's Lawn Service is a cut above the rest when it comes to caring for your lawn. However, Greg's experienced staff does so much more than lawn care. They offer complete landscape design and installation, concrete curb edging, grading, sodding, and hydro seeding. Yes, Greg's is a complete lawn care service, and they welcome the opportunity to show you why they are a cut above the rest. Give Greg's a call for more details about their wide range of services.
A new school year means the chase is on. What school will be the best? The Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy winner. It's simple. The school that rules brings home the hardware. Your school earns points by being the best in all 19 sports programs. Boys and girls, fall, winter, and spring. The school with the winningest programs takes home the coveted Zone Metro Sports Trophy and $500 from Farm Bureau Financial Services. Every sport counts towards each school's total points, and citywide bragging rights are on the line. We'll post the standings quarterly at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone, thezone1600.com. Current stats show Linmar leading the boys contest and Marion holds the top spot in the girls column. Who will come out on top? Kennedy, Jefferson, Linmar, Marion, Prairie, Washington, or Xavier. The Zone Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy. Only from the home of high school sports. The Zone. The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Billy Boyer, the Kernel number 9 hitter, will face 6'4" right-hander Anthony Swarzak. Swarzak pitched 5 innings in his last start. That was Thursday in Beloit against Fort Wayne, a no decision. In 5 innings, he surrendered 3 runs on 7 hits. He fanned 7 and walked none. Billy Boyer tries to bunt his way on and bunts it just to the backside of home plate where the catcher Corey Feiner pounced on it, but a foul ball, strike one. Billy hitting 178, a homer, 5 RBIs. Boyer from the Seattle-Tacoma area. His dad is in the millwork and construction supply business. Billy didn't play last night. He was an Angel 19th round pick in 2003. Formerly a switch hitter, now bats just right-handed. Swing and a miss by Billy, strike two. 2 hits in the game. They're both owned by Beloit, and we're scoreless in the bottom of the third. Outfield plays Boyer straight away and shallow. He rips one foul to the backstop. It remains 0-2 to Billy Boyer. The defense for the Snappers tonight has in the outfield has Dwayne White in left, Terrence Patterson in center, Jeremy Pickrell from Galesburg, Illinois in right. We already set the infield for you. Swing and a miss on an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. That was too much for Billy to get around on, and that's the 4th strikeout for Anthony Swarzak. These two teams lead the 14-team Midwest League in strikeouts. Beloit has struck out the most of any team in the Midwest League, followed by the Kernels. Richard Giannotti struck out looking back in the first inning. 1 out, nobody on in the Kernel third. Richard pops one foul right back here, just to our left. Strike one on Giannotti. Third baseman David Winfrey plays 12 feet off the line, even with the base, and Giannotti slaps the next one foul into the screen, 0-2. The Kernels have gotten the ball out of the infield once so far in 2 1/3 innings. Jordan Renz flew out to left to end the Kernels' second inning. The Kernels, 10th in the league in home runs, 10th of 14 teams. We've hit 12 home runs in 24 games. Richard, late swinging, loops it foul into the sweeps along the third base side. A new batch of baseballs from the Kernel dugout. Bat boy John giving them to plate umpire Mike Weinstein. Mike is wearing a long-sleeved navy blue pullover jacket along with gray slacks. A high pop foul, and that one will land in the red seats to the left of home plate. All the seats here in the grandstand are red with armrests and cup holders. Down the right field line, aluminum back bleachers known as the Papa John's Plaza. There's a picnic deck down the left field line, the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, a 16-foot high wall leading up to the fair portion of the pavilion down the left field line. Giannotti on a bender takes it low and in for ball one. The Miller Mezzanine Terrace, an extension of this press box suite level, that's right above the Kernel first base dugout. Nobody watching from there tonight, but we'll have groups galore starting in mid-May. Giannotti rips one fair past first into the right field corner. He may get 3. Jeremy Pickrell digs it out at the 325 mark, and Richard has to hold at second. Richard Giannotti with the first hard hit ball by a Kernel tonight. I mean, he cranked it hard, smacking it past first, past Mark Zamwish, and down the right field line. Jeremy Pickrell made a good play in the corner to prevent Giannotti from turning second and heading to third. Richard has his third double of the season, and now the Kernels have a chance to break the ice with the game's first run. An RBI chance for Sean Rodriguez. Anthony Swarzak giving up the first Kernel hit to Richard Giannotti, a one-out double here in the third inning. Sean stands motionless, lays off a fastball high. Sean's father, Johnny, as we mentioned during his first at-bat, emailed us with some kind words, told us how much he enjoys listening to the broadcast, and he'll look forward to seeing us in Appleton, Wisconsin in June. Johnny Rodriguez plans on joining the ball club and We'll have him as a guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. We visited with Johnny last summer in South Bend, and boy, was that an education. Johnny told us about his philosophy, how you play hard every single pitch, every single inning, how the batter owns a certain part of the plate. Johnny also told us about being a member of the University of Miami coaching staff, a team that included Pat Burrell. Pat Burrell, a star now with the Philadelphia Phillies. Swing and a miss by Sean Rodriguez, 1-1. Sean's only 20 years old. He popped out to second in the first inning. He has a chance to drive in a run and give the Kernels the lead. The pitcher now, the pitching mound in the middle of the diamond is in shadows. The lights have not been turned on yet. Rodriguez fouls one above the backstop, strike 2 to Sean. Man, you want to be around an energetic, can-do guy, just spend 5 minutes with Sean Rodriguez's father, Johnny. That guy's appreciative of everything about baseball. He knows that it's been his family's livelihood, and what a job he's done raising a couple of great sons. I haven't met Sean's brother, who's a catcher in the Marlin organization. Ooh, a fastball just outside, and it's 2-2 to Rodriguez. Kernels have 3 fellas from the great city of Miami in their lineup tonight. Leadoff batter Richard Giannotti leading away from second. The batter Sean Rodriguez. And the Kernel catcher Tommy Duenas, all 3 from Miami. The big, tall right-hander Swarzak steps off the rubber. Anthony spells his last name S-W-A-R-Z-A-K. Swarzak. He comes set at the letters. Checks Giannotti. Delivers to Sean. A change-up in the dirt. Giannotti will try for third, and he makes it. A late throw by the catcher, and Corey Finer's throw almost went into left field. David Winfrey at third had to save a run by diving headlong, dove right into the sliding Richard Giannotti. That's a huge advancement by Richard Giannotti. No stolen base credited to Richard, but a wild pitch charge to the starter Swarzak. Now with the snapper, the snappers haven't decided how they're going to align their infield. Will they bring them in for the play at the plate? Or will they trade an out for a run if Sean Rodriguez is able to put the ball in play on the ground? The catcher, Corey Finer, out to the hill. Corey wearing dark blue shin guards. He's a little bit bow-legged, and he wears a dark blue chest protector. Heck, there have been a lot of great athletes who have been a little bit bow-legged. Well, Sean Rodriguez, with the outfield playing shallow, will try to deliver the game's first run home on this 3-2 pitch. Here it is. A high pop foul down the right field line. Mark Zamweich leans over the railing of the Papa John's Plaza. There's no play. It's 4 rows up. 4 rows up. Sean Rodriguez had to go get a new bat. Sean's using a black lacquer bat, wearing a red Anaheim Angel color Kernel batting helmet. Giannotti at third with only 1 out in a scoreless game, bottom of the 3rd inning. Swarzak is working from the stretch. Sean fights another good pitch off and dumps this one into the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line. Sean Rodriguez battling Anthony Swarzak. Swarzak has thrown 2 strikes on full count pitches, and the count remains full. Bottom of the 3rd inning. No score here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where we'll play again tomorrow evening. It's Nurses Recognition Night. And then Thursday at noon, Cinco de Mayo. A noon start. The weather's supposed to be the temperature near 70 degrees and sunshine. Ooh, strike 3 called at the knees. That looked low, and a huge strikeout for Anthony Swarzak. He catches Sean Rodriguez looking. Huge strikeout. That was a huge strikeout. It's the 5th of the night for Swarzak. And now it'll take a base hit from Freddy Sandoval. The Colonel leading RBI man is batting third in the Allen Motor Company order. Freddy, with the team-high 14 runs driven in, has been exceptionally good in these situations this season for the Kernels. That is, runners in scoring position with 2 out. A ground ball to short, and gloving it is Trevor Plouffe. He throws out Freddy Sandoval. I'll be darned, the ground ball out came 1 out too late. The Kernels had a runner at third with 1 out, their numbers 2 and 3 hitters up, and they could not get him home. Well, you don't point the finger at the Colonel ineptness. You credit the pitcher, Anthony Swarzak. He pitches around a 1-out double and a 1-out wild pitch. I'll be darned. Runs are awfully tough to come by at home this season for the Kernels. No runs, 1 hit. There were no Beloit errors. The Kernels strand their third of the evening. Bob Brooks should be along shortly to take us through the middle 3. After 3, Kernels nothing, Beloit nothing. And this is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Yes, spring is here. So is the bulky item cleanup in Cedar Rapids. Only specific wood and plastic articles are being accepted. The complete list is on the flyer you recently received in the mail. Be sure to check that flyer before putting out any items for city crews when they come to your neighborhood. If you have appliances, tires, and scrap metal you want to get rid of at no charge, follow the instructions on the back of the flyer. This reminder from your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling.
Who will be the next KCRG TV9 Athlete of the Week, presented by Blair Ridge Dental? Nominate your athlete from any sport at any high school in the KCRG TV9 viewing area by calling Newsline 9 at 365-9999. Nominations are accepted Saturday through Monday. Then Tuesday, see the weekly finalists on KCRG TV9 News at 6. Vote for your favorite nominee by calling City Line. In Cedar Rapids, call 363-7000. Enter category prep. That's category 7737. Or log on to KCRG.com and cast your ballot online. Thursday, meet the winner on KCRG TV9 News at 10. Plus, hear an interview with the newest athlete of the week on Game Day with Scott Unash here on The Zone. And check out the winners gallery posted at thezone1600.com. Catch the KCRG TV9 Athlete of the Week presented by Blair Ridge Dental on KCRG TV9 and here on The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
So both teams have had pretty good scoring chances in the first 3 innings, but neither has been able to break through. We go to the 4th with Jesse Smith set to go against the heart of the snapper order. Deacon Burns, David Winfrey, Mark Zamweish. Bob Brooks will be along shortly after his chat with Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim General Manager Bill Stoneman to give the play-by-play to you. A 1-out double by Richard Giannotti in the bottom of the 3rd inning. He advanced to 3rd on a wild pitch, but the numbers 2 and 3 hitters for the Kernels could not drive him in. Here's a bouncer over the hill. Sean Rodriguez gloves it in front of 2nd and throws high, but in time to retire Deacon Burns. Deacon Burns is the 6th man in a row retired by 24-year-old right-hander Jesse Smith, who has pitched fantastic baseball in this his 2nd start of the season. Deacon Burns chopped it over the hill, and Sean Rodriguez came in to his left and got the batter 1 out. David Winfrey hit into a 4-6-3 double play back in the 1st inning. That ended a Beloit 1st inning scoring threat. David Winfrey hits one high in the air to right. Warner Madrigal takes a few steps back, now a few steps in, and Warner hauls it in. 2 out quickly in the top of the 4th inning. David Winfrey skies to right. Jesse Smith is now set down. 7 in a row. 7 straight retired by Jesse Smith. Jesse's ERA in 5 relief appearances and 1 start, a splendid 2.25. The Colonel team ERA 4.02. That's 8th in the 14-team Midwest League. Strike 1 into Mark Zamweish. Zamweish walked leading off the 2nd inning. Mark, a left-handed batter, dribbles one foul to the screen, and it's 0-2 to Mark Zamweish. We're rolling right along. The game almost an hour old, and we're in the top of the 4th inning. No score. Boy, it's hard to get used to referring to the Beloit Snappers as the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. a relationship of over 20 years severed by the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers decided to leave the Midwest League, and it's awfully strange to be calling these snappers Minnesota Twin farmhands rather than properties of the Milwaukee Brewers. Zamwish is jammed, and Mark fights it off and bounces it foul past first. It's still 0-2 to Mark Zamwish. Curveball! The Kernels thought they had the batter struck out. So did I, but plate umpire Mike Weinstein said ball one. Mark Zamwish has a .347 average. Uh-oh, a high, deep drive way back and right. Madrigal in front of the track. Madrigal has it. Wow, Mark Zamwish hit a high clout to deep, deep right field, but Warren Madrigal calmly went back and in front of the warning track, one step in front of the track, he caught it. Boy, Mark Zamwish put a scare into me. He just missed leveling his swing and belting that one out of the park, but it's 8 in a row retired by Jesse Smith, and for the second straight frame, Jesse sets the snapper side down in order. And after 3.5, it's still a scoreless contest between the Kernels and Beloit. You're enjoying Kernel baseball in the zone.
For licensing information, visit www.careonecredit.com. When you're struggling with credit card bills every month, you're not just in debt. Debt's all around you.
I see people every day that are on the brink. They're going to go over the edge, and at the bottom is bankruptcy, and we pull them back.
The people who provide Care One Credit Counseling Services know how to help you get out of debt and get on with your life, so call them now. 800-233-4985, 800-233-4985. We can help you stop the collection calls, pay off your debt sooner, and save up to 57% every month.
You do get to consolidate your payments. You only have to worry about making one payment a month instead of making 3 or 4 or 5.
Gather up your bills and talk to the people who can help, to the people who care. Call Care One Credit Counseling today. 800-233-4985, 800-233-4985. That's 800-233-4985.
Selling a home is a lot harder than I thought. I need help. Got any suggestions?
Oh, yeah. Call Coldwell Banker Hedges. They're the best in Cedar Rapids.
They've got over 85 agents. How do I pick the right one?
Call Coldwell Banker Hedges at 378-8760 and ask for Nancy. She's the relocation director, and she'll help you choose the best agent for your needs.
Thanks. That's exactly the help I need.
Don't thank me. Thank Coldwell Banker Hedges. They're the ones who will make the difference. Call Coldwell Banker Hedges Realty at 378-8760.
Cleanup batter Drew Toussaint will lead off in the bottom of the fourth inning, facing Anthony Swarzak. Drew struck out swinging to end the Kernel first inning. We're scoreless in the bottom of the fourth. Toussaint takes a strike on the outside corner. Drew is a right-handed batter, wears his white home trousers all the way down to the tops of his black Nike shoes, and he wraps one on the ground to shallow third. A tough play for David Winfrey. He throws low, and holding on at first is Toussaint. Drew Toussaint has reached on what might be ruled an error, or they could award Drew with a base hit. I'd give him a base hit, but we'll have to wait and see what the official scorer says. He says E5. David Winfrey, had his throw been on the mark, would have had Drew Toussaint. I still would have ruled it a base hit, but that's what makes the game of baseball fun. You certainly can't argue too vehemently that the official scorer charged Winfrey with an error, because what the official scorer is saying is a good throw would have had him. What I'm saying is the third baseman had to come in so far and make an off-balance throw with his momentum carrying him towards the plate that I don't think it was a makeable throw, but we're not here to dispute. We're here to say, way to go, Drew Toussaint. He reaches on an error committed by David Winfrey at third base. There goes Toussaint. Michael Collins fists one in the air into the first base seats. Strike one to Michael Collins. So Drew Toussaint was off and running on the first pitch to Michael Collins. The Kernels have their leadoff man aboard for the second time in this game. The batter, Michael Collins, was hit by a pitch leading off the second inning. The Snappers have only made 17 errors in 23 games. That's airtight defense. And the error by the third baseman has opened up this inning. Ball one low to Michael Collins. Well, we promised you that Bob Brooks would return for the middle 3 innings, and we'll give Bob a chance to get settled in, and perhaps if he needs to get caught up on his scorecard, we'll help him with that, and then he'll take over in the 5th inning. Ball 2 is high to Michael Collins. Bob's had a chance to talk it over with Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim General Manager Bill Stoneman, and Bob, we're not going to ask you to report what you learned because I know you're going to use that on some of your sportscasts tomorrow, but in general, is Bill, A, is he staying warm, and B, what kind of mood is he in?
Well, he's in a good mood, and he's warm.
Good. That's great. Now we just...
And he's happy, so...
That's super. We'll
get a quote from him here.
There goes the runner, and again, Michael Collins fouls one off to the right. Well, I know this. It's a special guy, and I'm not demeaning at all the rank that Cedar Rapids holds in the Angel system. We are very, very important to the Angels, as evidenced by our 14-year relationship with them. With that said, though, I'm going to tell you this, Bob. Not too many big league general managers come see not only their Midwest League minor leaguers, but even the AAA or AA teams. Bill knows that his future depends on what happens here.
Well, I think the thing that he told me, and talking about, I asked him about that naming out there, how that was going over the L.A. Angels of Anaheim. And he said, well, he wasn't into marketing, really. He said, my job is to put the product out there on the field.
And that's true.
And that's it, yes.
And it will take...
Marketing will take care of the rest of it.
And so will a winning ball club, which the Angels have had under Bill Stoneman's watch. 2-2 to Michael Collins.
And they lead the division this year out in the West.
Yeah, they beat Seattle last night. Is Toussaint running? No. Swing and a miss by Michael Collins. That is the 6th strikeout for Anthony Swarzak. Well, Drew Toussaint reached on a throwing error by David Winfrey to open up this 4th inning. No score. Now Warner Madrigal may be called upon to execute and a hit and run. Bobby Magallanes has tried everything to get this ball club going offensively at home, and that means any time a pitch is in the dirt, the Kernel runner goes. He's tried numerous straight steals, hit and runs. The ball club just hasn't been able to get on track offensively at home. Swing and a miss by Warner Madrigal. Bob will have the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings for you on the play-by-play end. Remember, in the 6th inning, a chance for you to earn a $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse, our Springhouse trivia question in the top of the 6th inning. The lights are on now. Strike 2 called on the outside corner to Madrigal. That was an unhittable pitch.
And a good one.
Warner struck out looking his first time up. I'm so happy Bill is here. Last year he came right after the All-Star break, and we were dead tired in a mental rut, and we played miserably in front of Bill Stoneman. Our worst baseball of what was a pretty good season last year, and now he comes, and we lose that tough game last night. Hopefully we can show him some spunk here during this homestand.
No runs, 2 hits, Beloit. No runs, 1 hit, Cedar Rapids.
Toussaint leading away at first, the 1-2 to Madrigal. Here it is. A drive into right off the end of the bat. It'll be caught by Jeremy Pickrell. Well, Madrigal did well to put it in play and hit it off the end of the bat into right, 2 away for Tommy Duenas. Bob, I think some people tend to forget it is a glamorous position and one we would all, in theory, love to have, to run a baseball team. Well, we all do it when we are in fantasy baseball leagues, but, man, there's a lot of pressure on guys like Bill Stoneman.
Well, yes, there is, and you know a lot of people. He knows all of the scouts who are sitting down behind home plate tonight and was kibitzing with them last night for a few innings.
The first pitch to Duenas.
And, of course, the heart of putting a product out on the field is to have good scouting.
That's the lifeblood right there. you can't do anything at any level without identifying the talent, and then the second aspect is developing it. And that's why these fellas are here. Tommy Duenas wraps one hard to short. A big hop to Plouffe, and Plouffe underhands to Hughes. That ends the inning. Well, the Kernels have had their chances. We've had a base runner in every inning, but have yet to break through against Anthony Swarzak. Tommy Duenas forces Toussaint 6-4 to end the Kernel fourth. As Bob said, through 4 innings, we're scoreless. Bob will have the 5th, 6th, and 7th for us here in just a moment. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
For more than 70 years, Rockwell Collins has been dedicated to providing innovative and dependable aviation electronics and communication solutions worldwide. We also bring a dedication of excellence to our communities to help ensure growth and prosperity. The long-standing partnership between Rockwell Collins and the Kernels is one way we're enhancing the quality of life in our community and making Cedar Rapids the best place to live and work. Rockwell Collins and the Cedar Rapids Kernels, partners on and off the field.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was a news anchor for Channel 2. You may also have seen me driving around Cedar Rapids in my Honda Accord. Well, I retired from broadcasting, but I haven't given up my Honda. For years, I've told friends they should consider owning a Honda, specifically from Randy Keel Honda. Randy is a local dealer with 13 years of experience in matching drivers to the right vehicle. He has a fine selection of new Hondas, as well as quality pre-owned vehicles. And more than just a reliable service department, Randy Keel Honda offers Confidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle sold. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. And you can do more homework by logging on to Randy's website at www.randykeel.com. I'm a satisfied Honda owner, and I'm sure you will be too. See Randy Keel Honda today on Center Point Road Northeast.
We're going to get Bob caught up here as we go to the 5th inning. Bob, let's talk through this on the air. A lot of people keep score at home. Dwayne White in the 3rd inning grounded back to the mound, 1-3 to Jesse Smith. Then Terrence Patterson struck out looking. Luke Hughes then popped out to Jesse Smith, trying to bunt his way on in the 3rd. Jesse then accomplished his 2nd straight 1-2-3 inning in the 4th. He got Deacon Burns to ground to short. David Winfrey flew out to right. And then Mark Zamwich put a scare into us by flying deep to right for the final out. Here we go to the 5th, and Bob with the play-by-play.
And here is Peckrell. No score. We go into the 5th inning here at the ballpark. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch, and there's a drive into left field for a base hit. Peckrell went the other way. Left-handed batter drilled it between short and 3rd, and he comes up with the 3rd hit of the night for the Beloit Snappers. One on, but Jesse Smith has been in that situation before.
And once again, a possible bunt by Trevor Plouffe, but Kevin Bowles has had no inkling to bunt in this series so far.
And that's been strange. The Cedar Rapids Kernels have come up with 2 double plays when the Snappers have threatened. Stretch, and Smith fires to first, and the runner's back in time. I would think, too, we will be passing along the Major League scores. Talking to Bill Stoneman, I was checking the Cub game, and there is no score. Zambrano hasn't lost his temper yet, so he's still pitching. There's a ball that drops inside.
Bunch of Cub fans, Bob, love going to Miller Park to watch the Cubs.
Oh, yes, they do. I'm kind of anxious to see a ball game up there.
It's a beautiful facility. Casey Hawkinson, who's now with the Dodgers, a former Colonel intern and assistant to Jack Rader, thinks the stadium is too good for Milwaukee. And I said, Casey, what do you mean? He said it's just like a palace.
Well, that's good enough for Milwaukee.
Right.
Stretch by Jesse Smith, the look over, and here's the pitch. Swung on, and a fly ball lofted to right field. Madrigal is there, gloves it, and one man is out. So Smith, after giving up a single to Peckrell, gets Plouffe on a fly ball to right, and that brings up Freener. Corey Freener, the catcher, who flied out in his first appearance. Again, the pitchers dominate, as you might suspect, in the early part of the season. Pickrell leads 2 strides at first. He doesn't seem to be one who will go. Here's the stretch and the look over, though, by Jesse Smith, the right-hander. Rentz in left, Giannotti in center, Madrigal in right. We have Sandoval at third, Rodriguez at short, Boyer at second, Collins at first. Tommy Duenas puts his target outside. He thought the runner might be going there and called for a pitch out, and instead it was a ball.
And that prompts Kevin Bowles to flash a battery of signs to his right-handed hitting catcher.
Runner again leads away with 1 out, and again there's a play made on him at first base. If I was building a new ballpark, I wouldn't put any dugouts in because they just stand at the rail anyhow.
At least in the minor leagues they do, to show that enthusiasm that hopefully carries up to the big leagues. You look in a big league dugout, Bob, and a lot of guys do actually sit on the bench, but you're right.
And they retreat to the clubhouse.
That's the bad part right there.
Stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back.
Bob, one fella on the Mets last year admitted that he got a haircut between innings in the clubhouse. That's ridiculous.
Well, I've always thought that there were relievers who never showed up at the park until the 5th, 6th inning.
You might be right. They sneak into the corner where those bullpens are buried, and who knows what. A lot of storytelling in big league bullpens. I have a story I'll share momentarily about a former Kernel pitching coach who...
There is a ball that is outside, and the count moves along.
Greg Minton, who was our pitching coach here in the late 90s, an all-star with the Giants, told me he smoked a cigarette in every big league bullpen he ever stayed in.
Throw over to first base, well, that isn't something you should be proud of.
No, it just tells you that there is some sneaky behavior down there when you're out of sight.
Especially, I would think, if the bullpen is elevated as they are. They have 2 tiers of bullpen.
I remember the one in Tiger Stadium. It was kind of a bunker. Who knows what went on in those?
Here's the pitch. Low and outside. 3-1 now to Corey Freener.
One thing I've noticed that is a little bit alarming, Jesse Smith has slowed it down, and he's working cautiously, and he should come right after the hitter now.
At the belt, here's the pitch. Swung on, fly ball to right field. Should be caught by Madrigal and will be caught by Warner Madrigal in right. So he has made the 2 putouts in the inning. Runner stays at first, and that brings up Dwayne White. White is the new arrival, putting Beloit at the maximum of 25 players. Landon Burt was placed on the DL. White joins Beloit for this game after being signed as a non-drafted free agent. There's a right with the runner going, a ball outside the slide. He is out at second. The coverage by shortstop Rodriguez. Perfect throw by Tommy Duenas, and caught stealing was Jeremy Pickrell. No runs, no hits, or 1 hit rather, and no errors. Nobody left on. And we have played 4.5 at the ballpark, where it is 0-0. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
We're a nation on wheels. Cars are an absolute necessity in our society. Because we drive so much, accidents are bound to occur. Your Pekin insurance professional Tanya Sedlock at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency can help protect you from a large financial loss when an accident happens. See Tanya Sedlock at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency about low-cost auto insurance from Pekin Insurance. Depend on your hometown Pekin insurance professional, Tanya Sedlock at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Let me tell you what was Army-Navy, not relevant. What is today? Conference Championship Game. What was men's tennis? What is women's tennis? What was your son was a good Little League? What is your daughter is now more athletic than your son at 6 years old and on? What was quirky? Wide World of Sports. What is quirky? The X Games. What was Network Game of the Week? What is DirecTV Sunday Ticket? What was heavyweight boxing. What is smaller guys. You used to keep score at games. That was what was. Guess what? What is outfield restaurants and interactive ballpark games? I'm not saying you can't love what was, but understand what is, because often what is now is the same as what was guy thought was innovative and cool 30 years ago. But now, suddenly, he's above it and thinks it's stupid and irrelevant.
Don't be left out of the herd. Only on ESPN Radio.
Also means the Cinco de Mayo feast on Thursday at noon and the Mother's Day brunch here on Sunday starting at 11.
I have the menu before me.
Wow. Please, when you do read it, you're going to hear a growl in my stomach.
There's a swing on a changeup. He didn't get it. Ball 2, strike 2. Nobody out, nobody on in the last of the fifth, and no score. Cedar Rapids and Beloit. Midwest League Baseball at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The windup in the pitch. Strike, it's called. Another breaking ball over the outside corner, and Jordan Rentz is called out on strikes.
7 strikeouts now for the tall right-hander, Anthony Swarzak.
So Swarzak, who is confident in his ability, has had good ability so far. He's allowed the Kernels 1 hit. That was a double by Richard Giannotti, leading off in the 3rd inning. Now the windup, the delivery. This is a curved strike. He's using that slider and curveball to pretty good advantage right now. Pitching in the 5th inning, and the delivery. Off the belt and wide for a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on. Sign given by Freener, and he, with the pitch, it's low and outside. 2 balls and a strike now. Billy Boyer, the second baseman, hitting 178. Cox at bat and gives it a rip, and foul takes it. Ball 2, strike 2. 1 home run by Billy. And he has had 5 runs driven in today. The motion, here's the pitch. Swung on, hit off the pitcher's glove. Picked up by the second baseman, flips it over, not in time. It'll be an infield hit for Billy Boyer, the Cedar Rapids Kernels' 2nd hit tonight.
Oh, Billy's rewarded, Bob, because he did hit that ball hard. Swarzak made a good play to get a glove on it, deflected to the second baseman, Luke Hughes. I was a little bit surprised that Luke flipped it with all that air time from second to first. I thought if he'd taken time to make a normal throw, it would have been a little bit closer, but it's a base hit for Billy.
I don't think he was going to get him.
No, I don't either, Bob, now that I looked at the replay on the Rockwell Collins LED video board.
Runner at first in Billy Boyer, and that brings up Giannotti, left-handed batter, 1 for 2, and a double. He got as far as 3rd. And that pitch is off the corner, outside, ball 1, no strikes, and 1 on, and 1 out.
Bob, most of the elementary schools in Cedar Rapids are named for a former president. Exceptions are Viola Gibson, Wright, and our school tonight, Erskine. And I know I'd like, and our listeners would in a moment, for you to explain who Erskine was.
The stretch Here's the pitch. And it's inside and high. Well, Dr. Erskine was into medicine, of course, here in Cedar Rapids.
Okay.
But
he was a doctor.
Yes. And in the main, it was in reading, the heart and that sort of thing, and taking photographs and
X-ray stuff. Okay. Okay.
Now the stretch. Here's the pitch. Off the corner, runner tries for second, makes it easily. Stolen base for Billy Boyer. So Kernels have picked up a stolen base, and they put a runner at second base with one out here in the last half of the fifth inning.
Well, Bob Erskine, I think, has an imaging center named after him on First.
Yes,
yeah,
that's where it is.
Okay.
It's on First Avenue, right across from Bruce Moore. Now the stretch. Here's the pitch. And this one is inside for ball 4, and that puts Giannotti at first. Runners now at first and second. So the Kernels have a little bit cooking here in the last half of the fifth inning. As Sean Rodriguez comes up, batting .232, flied out to the second baseman, struck out, and now he can deliver a hit that would score a run.
Well, Sean had a similar RBI chance in the third, a runner at third with one out, and he ran the count full before Anthony Swarzak got him on a borderline pitch at the knees.
And there's action now in the Beloit bullpen as the left-hander starts to warm. Infield at double play depth, and the pitch is high and outside. Now, Swarzak is not as sharp, and here comes the pitching coach for the Snappers, that large Gary Lucas, who is 6'8", strides across the third baseline, making sure he doesn't touch the chalk, and he gets out to the mound.
Bob, you mentioned Bill Stoneman renewing some acquaintances and friendships with scouts down below. Bill went out of his way around 5 o'clock this evening to seek out Gary Lucas and say hello to him. Baseball is some fraternity, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is the Friends Club, for sure.
You mentioned Ryan Bowen calling you from the country of Turkey a few years back, listening to Hawkeye basketball from Champaign, Illinois. A couple of very dear friends of mine just called up and said hello from Denver, Colorado. So thanks for calling in, my loved ones from Denver, Colorado.
Here's Rodriguez now. You never know. Now the stretch. And here's the pitch by Swarzak. Throw to first, they have him. He is out.
How in the world can you get picked off first base in a scoreless game? And that's what Richard Giannotti is wondering. He got picked off by the catcher, and Bob, it wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't.
Wow. Boy, that's a tough base running play to have to swallow.
Frieder called for a pitch that was wide. He took it, took one step, fired to the first baseman, Zamwich, and the out recorded 2 away, 1 on. There's a ground ball to the third baseman between his legs. He picks it up. No play. That'll be an error.
Hard hit ball by Sean, and that should have been the last out of the inning. That is a legitimate error on David Winfrey. They charged him with one to open the fourth inning that I thought was a clear infield single. But that error on David Winfrey, and now a 2-out RBI chance for Sandoval. Bob, for just a moment, I thought Winfrey would be able to recover. The ball squirted about 20 feet behind him. I thought he might have a play at third, but no go as Boyer made it to third.
Right through the wicket. He didn't have a good chance of it. He had to pivot all the way around, go back and get the ball, and it was too late by then. Now runners at first and third. Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. 88-mile-an-hour fastball. No score. Kernels threaten in the last half of the fifth inning. Infield now back. The outfield straight away for the left-hander, Freddy Sandoval. Pitch. Too low and outside. Runner now is hung up between first and second, and he is just back. Whew. Man alive.
Oh, brother Bob, for a moment, Rodriguez was halfway between first and second, and Corey Feiner threw back to first, and I thought Sean was a goner.
Seemed that he was, except Feiner wanted to make sure that the runner from third did not break for the plate.
Yes, that's
consequently, he held up long enough to figure out what the man at third, Billy Boyer, was going to do, and then it was too late. There's a drive deep to right field. This ball is well hit, but not hit well enough. At the warning track, it is taken by Pickrell to retire the side. Looked for a moment like that ball would carry, but it went to the 390-foot mark and the warning track in right field for the out that takes the Kernels out of the inning with no runs. And they had a hit, and there was one error. And we have completed 5 with a nothing game going at the ballpark. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Hometown Restyling. For all your remodeling needs, satisfaction is guaranteed. Hometown Restyling specializes in all of your home's interior, exterior needs. Come and visit one of our showrooms, one in Hiawatha, one in Coralville, and see the possibilities. Windows, siding, sunrooms. Please call 378-1221. Hometown Restyling. There's no place like home.
So, you get up one morning, and before you even make it out of the bedroom, you stumble over an old lamp that hasn't worked since 1968. And then you stub your toe on an old coffee table you meant to get rid of 5 years ago, but you didn't. And now your toe hurts like crazy. So you go out to the garage to get that foot soaker you got for Christmas, but you can't get to it because it's behind the bikes and trikes and the weight bench and treadmill that you're going to start using. Next week for sure. And then it hits you with the wallop of a double latte. You have too much stuff. So what do? The Gazette Classifieds. Yeah, that's right. Sell it in the Gazette Classified. Have a garage sale. You'll sell stuff. You'll clear out your house. You'll have money in your pocket. And that means you can go out and buy more stuff.
Be one of the crowd. 100,000 people respond to the Gazette Classifieds every day. Look to the Gazette Classifieds. It works for you.
The Gazette. Now you know.
Back at Veterans Memorial Stadium, second game of the series between Cedar Rapids and Beloit. And there is no score. Dwayne White, who was number 19 on the back of his gray traveling uniform. He has no batting averages yet. He was an out in his only appearance to date. Left-handed hitter. Just joined the Beloit Snappers as a non-drafted free agent, and he gets his shot at some kind of professional baseball as the first pitch is outside to make it ball 1 and no strikes. On the mound is Jesse Smith, and the Kernels have a pitcher up, a right-hander, throwing down the right field line.
That's Chris Waters, Bob. Right-hander Chris Waters.
Next pitch is outside, and the count ball 2 and no strikes. The pitch, with no wind, a strike is called over the outside corner, just caught the black part of home plate.
This fellow Dwayne White from KU.
This pitch is too low for a ball, and we go to 3-1. At times tonight, Jesse Smith has been in difficulty as he delivers 3-1, and the pitch is swung on and foul tipped back into the catcher's mitt. The first 2 men in the ball game got on for Beloit. 2 men were on in the second. Both times, a double play got him out of it, and now there is ball 4, and again, the first man up is on, and Beloit in a nothing game with Cedar Rapids. Let's see what the skipper decides to do this time. Kevin Bowles is not a man who likes to bunt, apparently.
Well, he's had that M.O. so far, Bob. Maybe a hit and run's in order.
Terrence Patterson stands in, right-handed hitter. Throw over to first, and the runner's back in time.
Your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Spring House comes your way in just a few moments. We'll tell you a little bit about the Spring House and give you the question.
Here's the pitch. Too low for a ball. So now control becomes a problem.
Look for the Spring House's coupons in the Gazette. In today's Gazette, Tuesday Gazette in the Iowa Today section, $2 off coupon to the Spring House.
Throw to first, the runner's back.
Clip that coupon out and put it on your refrigerator. Take it to the Spring House. It's also in the Penny Saver, a $2 off coupon from the Gazette in the Penny Saver and in the Iowa Today section of the Tuesday Gazette.
At the belt, Jesse Smith fires. Swing and a miss. Smith now steps out of the batter's box and looks down to the coach at third. And again, we're set. Runner leads, nobody out. Smith checks and throws over to first. Runner again is back, the infield, at double play depth. Outfield, straight away for the leadoff hitter, the Beloit Snappers, Terrence Patterson. Another throw over there. Runner is back. Terrence, 5'8", 170 pounds, out of Bartow, Florida. Runner two-stride lead, the pitch, swung on and fouled back, and the count now stands on the scoreboard in center field at ball one and strike two.
If you've been a winner of a $5 gift certificate to the Spring House, that's wonderful. Please play along wherever you're tuned in this evening, but don't call in. Don't call in if you've already won the Spring House trivia question, because we have literally, thousands of others who try to get in during every broadcast, and we want to let them earn a prize.
Stretch, here's the pitch. Curve just misses.
Jesse has such a good curve, Bob, and he doesn't say this in a egotistical way. Sometimes it's a good enough curve, the umpire doesn't call it a strike. He's not used to seeing it snap off.
Patterson, the little guy, digs in. There's a swing and a foul back, just protecting the plate.
Our Spring House trivia question this evening, this National League lefty had 4 20-win seasons in the 1990s, more than any other pitcher in the decade. Who is he? This National League lefty had 4 20-win seasons in the 90s, more than any other pitcher in the decade. He's still pitching. Who is he? We'll give you the phone number in just a moment.
Jesse Smith is ready at the belt to pitch. Inside and high. And we go full.
896-7589, the number to call, 896-7589, 896-7589 for a Spring House $5 gift certificate.
Runner leads, nobody out. 3-2 pitch. Runner goes, pitch is inside for ball 4, and everybody is safe.
And Jesse's tiring. That's the second 3-2 batter that reaches on a walk, and Chris Waters may be coming in as Jesse Smith walks the first 2 men in this inning. And now if the Snappers aren't bunting, they'll never bunt in this series.
As Luke Hughes, a .235 batter with 2 home runs, 10 runs driven in, comes to the plate.
And here comes Kernan Ronan, the Kernel pitching coach. That'll give us a chance to give you that Spring House trivia question again. This National League lefty had 4 20-win seasons in the 90s, more than any other pitcher in the decade. Who is he? 896-7589, 896-7589. This National League lefty had 4 20-win seasons in the 1990s. He's still pitching more than any other pitcher in the decade. Who is he? 896-7589. And
now, after the conference, Kernan Ronan comes back to the dugout, and stepping in will be Luke Hughes against Jesse Smith, who gets one more batter with the pitcher warming up for Cedar Rapids down the right field line, the bullpen. Fake to second. At the moment, Smith, in the two batters that he has walked, he has been more interested and focused with throwing to first or to second than he has been to getting that ball over for a strike. Stretch. Here's the pitch. He attempted to bunt, looked at it, throw by Duenas down to second base. Close, but safe. That time Hughes showed bunt, didn't offer at it, and it goes to ball one. Collins comes over from first to try and settle the pitcher down a bit. If the Kernels want to make a change, they can. The pitcher is warm down the right field line. Third baseman Sandoval comes in. So does Collins at first. Here's the pitch. This one is another ball that misses inside at the belt.
Jesse Smith having a hard time believing the calls by the plate umpire Mike Weinstein. Here comes the first baseman Michael Collins in to have a word with Jesse. We have a winner in our Springhouse Trivia question. We'll repeat the question, congratulate the winner, and share the answer he gave as this sixth inning unfolds. Boy, oh boy, Jesse Smith, 5 solid innings, but walking the first 2 here in the 6th, and that could spell a lot of trouble.
0-0 the score, and here's the pitch. That time he was heading away and takes a called strike. So Kevin Bowles, the skipper of the Snappers of Beloit, decides, hey, I'm going to take a shot at getting a base hit. Well, that didn't work. Now what's going to happen? The pitch swung on and fouled off to the right. Now Hughes seems to be heading away.
Our Springhouse question, this National League lefty had 4 20-win seasons in the 1990s, more than any other pitcher of the decade. Who is he? And our winner, Dave Taylor of Marion. Dave correctly stated Tom Glavine. Tom Glavine had 4 20-win seasons in the 1990s, more than any pitcher in the decade.
Most of that was with the Atlanta Braves. He's now with the New York Mets.
Exactly, Bob.
Stretch. Here's the pitch. Off the corner. Again, the plate has been squeezed by the plate umpire. Ball 3, strike 2. Now we'll see what the head man of Beloit does with this. Will he send the runners and take a swing with Hughes?
That's what I do. Turn them loose, Bob. Send them.
Stretch.
Oh,
ball 4.
You got to be kidding me. Wow. The plate umpire is killing the Kernels right now. How can you call those pitches balls? Huh. Well, that may be it. That's it.
That is.
How in the world? 5 great innings, then he walks the bases full, and the Snappers hardly ever, 3-2 pitches, 3-3-2 pitches, ball 4s, and that's too bad. That's too bad that Jesse Smith will not get a decision. 5 shutout innings. Wow.
And he might get the loss.
Yep, that's unbelievable. 2 innings now. Last night, a Colonel reliever, Billy Lehman, walked 4 in a row, and that cost the Kernels the game. Now Jesse Smith, 3 batters went 3-2, and the plate umpire would not give him a break. Would not. And Bobby Magallanes has a few words to the plate umpire. I don't blame him. My goodness, how can you call those pitches balls when they're that close? Well, 5 innings for Jesse Smith. So far, no runs. Jesse surrendered 3 hits. The right-hander struck out 2, and he walked 4. All of them, 3 of them rather, in this 6th inning. That's unbelievable.
Well, John, I'll give you that old line. It may not be right, but it's official.
That's true, Bob. Well, before Bob gets to a few scores, he mentioned Tom Glavine in his 4 20-win seasons in 91, 92, 93, and 98. Tom Glavine posted 20 or more wins with the Atlanta Braves. Dave Taylor knew it, and Dave Taylor's earned a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse.
Dave, congratulations to you. That's not an easy question to answer.
No, I thought...
You got to know your pitchers.
You sure do. And I still think Tom Glavine, well, he's a Hall of Famer. His lifetime record going into this season, as you said, Bob, is third with the Mets, 262 wins, 171 losses. Chris Waters is on, and Bob, Chris is on for the 9th time this season.
Well, we'll see if Chris can get out of this mess, because that's exactly what it is.
Waters last pitched Saturday in Davenport in a Kernel 15-2 or 14-2 loss. He went an inning and 2/3, allowed a run on 4 hits, struck out 2, walked 1.
So Waters gets ready. Bases are loaded. There it is. That is a ball. That went outside at the belt. So Chris Waters with a ERA of 4.38. This is his 9th appearance. He has pitched 12 1/3, given up 12 hits. There's a ground ball into right field, and it is a fair ball that will just bring 2 home. And runners at second and third. So a stinger down the right field line.
Third baseman, David Winfrey.
Deacon Burns comes through, John, with a solid double.
Yeah, and it was fair by an inch. Fair down the right field line. White scored from third. Patterson scored from second. Both runs charged to Jesse Smith, and what is it with our record at home? Man, we cannot play winning baseball at home, at least the first month of the season. We'll have to remember what Johnny Rodriguez said. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
There's a high fly ball in the infield. Runners tag up, and the catch is made by shortstop Rodriguez, and we have one man retired. That brings up Mark Zamwich, who walked and flied out. So here in the first half of the 6th, 2-run score. There are 4 hits total in the game by Beloit. Cedar Rapids has no runs and 2 hits. Now they're going to walk the left-handed hitter Zamwich. They will walk him intentionally with Chris Waters, and will bring up Jeremy Pickrell, who will bat with the bases loaded, and only 1 out.
And Pickrell's 2 for 2, Bob. Ooh, that pitch almost caught the strike zone. That ball 3 almost was strike 1 as Chris Waters couldn't hit his target, Tommy Duenas.
So the 4 pitches, and down to first trots Zamwich. Jeremy Pickrell, he was erased as a runner in a lead runner in a double play, and then he singled his next at bat. And Cedar Rapids traded a 347 hitter in Zamwich for a 261 hitter in Pickrell.
Well, let's go get our third double play of the night.
This one's a wild pitch that gets away, goes back to the screen. Another run will score. That time Waters uncorked one that bounced in front of the plate, zinged away from Tommy Duenas, and that brought in a runner from third, Luke Hughes. Hughes has scored, Patterson has scored, White has scored, and it is 3-0 now in favor of Beloit here in the top of the 6th.
Now they may walk this batter. Looks like they will walk him. The line is final on Jesse Smith. 5 innings pitched, 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, 4 walks.
Now we trade the Cedar Rapids Kernels pitching staff, and the Brain Trust has decided to trade Pickrell, a .261 hitter, for Plouffe, an .095 hitter. Those are pretty good odds.
They should be, but the way things have gone at home for the Kernels this season, who knows? My goodness. We've got to burn our bats or do something to change our luck at home. We have just not had much life at home this season.
Vernon Ronan, the pitching coach, again goes out to the mound, but there is nobody warming up in the bullpen.
Well, let's take a second. Thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, and Lanny Peterson to start our way down the State Farm Major League scoreboard. At Comerica Park, they're in the 7th inning. The Red Sox lead the Tigers 5-2. The Battle of the Birds at Camden. Toronto 1, the Orioles nothing. That's in the 8th inning. The Yankees are trailing at Tampa Bay's Tropicana Field 8-4 Devil Rays, and they're in the 7th inning. 2-2 the Royals and White Sox. They're in the 4th at Comiskey Park. Cleveland on top of the Twins 4-2. That's in the 3rd inning.
And a strike is delivered by Waters to the right-handed hitting Plouffe. There's a swing and a bouncing ball foul outside of third. 3 men have scored. 2 men are on. Well, 3 men are on now after the intentional walk. We have Burns at third, who has driven in a couple of runs. Samwich at second. Pickrell at first. And the pitch. Strike, it's called over the outside corner. And that is called strike 3 on Plouffe.
Well, here's the 9th man to bat in the inning.
Corey Feiner, the catcher, has flied out twice. Bases are still loaded. And the Kernels are 3 runs in arrears.
Later tonight, our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels, take on the Mariners in Seattle. Oakland hosts Texas.
Waters now seems to get himself into the flow a bit here and delivers a strike that's called right over the heart of the plate at the knees. The pitch swung on, drive into right field. Madrigal is there. He catches it to retire the side. As Corey Feiner flies out to Madrigal, that's the second time he's done that tonight. 9 people batted for the Snappers, and 3 of them scored. And in the inning, just 1 base hit. Last night, Beloit scored without any hits and won the game 4-2. Tonight they lead 3-0 going into the last half of the 6th inning. We'll be back at the ballpark. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Watch your team's out-of-market games live from anywhere. Log on to ESPN.com for MLB.tv. Live Major League Baseball right to your desktop. Subscribe and catch your favorite team live from any computer. Get the most baseball available anywhere, live online. Log on to ESPN.com. Sign up for MLB.tv and never miss a game again. MLB.tv now on ESPN.com. Sign up today. Want the latest Hawkeye news? Get in the zone. Want the facts on recruiting? Want coaches' comments? Want to hear what the national media says about the Hawks? Get in the zone. All sports, all Hawkeyes. Fresh new focus on men's and women's athletics in Iowa City. It's the Zone's Hawkeye Update. Thursdays at 3:30 on the 19th hole with Scott Unash. It's presented by Welters and the University of Iowa Hawk Shop. The Hawkeye Update, only here on The Zone, ESPN Radio.
You're in the zone.
The way to pocket important savings is to take advantage of Chevron motor oils and lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Otson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Otson Oil Company at www.otson.com.
Cedar Rapids Kernels need 3 to tie it. Toussaint, Collins, and Madrigal will be the first 3 hitters against Anthony Swarzak, the big right-hander who has limited Cedar Rapids to 2 harmless hits. One a double by Giannotti, and the other a single by Billy Boyer.
Bob, I'm going to turn over the National League to you to pass along at your leisure as you call this Kernels 6th inning on that State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Now the pitch. Strike is called on the inside corner at the knees. Philadelphia taking care of the Mets 9-1, the game in the last half of the 7th inning at New York. St. Louis has a 2-0 lead on Cincinnati. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors after 7. And the Reds, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Jason Marquis is the pitcher record for St. Louis, and he's pitching a honey tonight. When we left you last night, St. Louis was trailing in the 9th inning. But when the game was over, the Cardinals had scored 7 runs to win against Cincinnati. 2 balls and a strike now to Toussaint. 353 batter for the Kernels in the white-home uniforms. The pitch swung on a fastball, and he didn't get it. Now that left-hander continues to throw down the left field line for Beloit. I should imagine Anthony Swarzak is getting to his pitch count here in the 6th. The delivery swung on and missed. He struck him out. He had good hop on that ball, 89 miles an hour on a fastball. It brings up Michael Collins.
Kevin Culpepper is the lefty that Bob's talking about, is ready to go in that snapper bullpen. That's the 8th strikeout for Anthony Swarzak.
After 5 innings, the Florida Marlins lead the Atlanta Braves 6-2. After 4 innings at Milwaukee, it's 1-0 the Cubs with Zambrano pitching for Chicago. And this pitch to a right-handed hitting Mike Collins is outside for ball 1. Pittsburgh and Houston are tied at 3 in the last half of the 4th inning. The delivery swung on and fouled back to the screen. San Francisco and Arizona, Colorado, San Diego, Washington Nationals, and the Dodgers later on. So that takes care of the dear old National League, John.
Thanks, Bob. My Cardinals had a lot to celebrate last night with a big 7-run 9th inning. They overtook the Reds.
That was one of the biggest comebacks of the season because they were out of it going to the 9th, and they were on the road. The count now to the right-handed hitting Mike Collins is 2 balls, 1 strike, and Anthony Swarzak winds and delivers. The 6'4" right-hander has his pitch fouled out of play. 2-2 now.
Thanks to the Gazette and Toyota Financial Services, the Kernels made their trek, as we do every morning during the spring. We went out this morning to St. Ludmilla and then to Wright Elementary School, touting our spring and summer Toyota Financial Services Gazette reading program, and boy, were the kids fired up at both of those elementary schools, St. Ludmilla and Wright Elementary, this morning.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out.
Well, that's 9 strikeouts for Swarzak, so if he's reaching his pitch count limit, Bob, he wants to finish with a flurry, it looks like.
Well, he's got some hum on that fastball now. He's reached back and been able to get a little extra. Warner Madrigal comes on as a right-handed batter. Beloit Snappers 3, Cedar Rapids Kernels nothing. 3 runs, 4 hits. Beloit no runs, 2 hits. Cedar Rapids. And Swarzak winds and delivers. This pitch hits his bat and ricochets back towards the Kernel dugout. That shook up Rhodey. Catcher gives the sign. Madrigal the batter, and here's the pitch. Curveball. He was fooled by it and fouled it. Just got a little piece of it. And the count is strike 2. Well, last night, the Cedar Rapids Kernels, the final report was 13 strikeouts?
Both teams fanned 16 times last night. Both sides fanned 16 times for a total of 32 in the game.
Now the motion. Here's the pitch. Into the dirt for a ball, and ball 1 and strike 2. So consequently, we have 10 who have fanned tonight.
Let me double check that, Bob. 1, 2,
check your numbers.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 strikeouts for Swarzak.
Well, that's a hefty total for 2 games.
Yep, 25, and we're only in the 6th.
Now the wind-up and the pitch. Strike 3, it's called. There's the 10th strikeout. So 26 Kernels have fanned or been called out on strikes in a total now of 15 innings. No runs and no hits, no errors and none left. We've completed 6 out here at Veterans Memorial Stadium with Beloit 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. Cedar Rapids no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on The Zone.
There's a reason Dick Ramsey is the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skogman Realty. It's because Dick Ramsey works harder for you than anyone to make selling your home easy for you. Take Dick's one-of-a-kind home trade program. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes and Dick will buy yours. Dick Ramsey provides 2 other unparalleled services: a free 1-hour telephone loan approval and a free 1-hour telephone appraisal on your property. Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty, the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company.
People say that I can't decide things. They are so wrong, but I could be wrong about that.
A U.S. Bank check card with checking that pays gives you a choice of rewards, like cash, points for merchandise and gift certificates, World Perks miles, or even sweepstakes entries.
Easy decision. I'll take the cash. No, it's a sweep.
Sign up at your local U.S. Bank or call 1-800-720-BANK.
I've made up my mind to put off my decision. That is final.
U.S. Bank.
No, wait.
See banker for complete details. Member FDIC.
Have you heard the great news? Mediacom has stepped to the plate to give girls and boys the chance to do cool stuff with the Kernels and at the stadium. As a member of the Mediacom Little Sluggers, you'll get to have an autograph session with the Kernels, take a tour of the stadium, watch a movie from the outfield grass, take batting practice with the Kernels, and participate in a story time with the players. Join the fun of the Mediacom Little Sluggers by registering online at Kernels.com. That's Kernels.com.
First batter for Beloit will be Dwayne White as we start the first half of the 7th inning. As we indicated, Bill Stoneman, the general manager of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, here tonight. There's a swing and a line drive for a base hit into right field. Madrigal picks it up, fires it back in, and White is on with the 5th hit of the night for Beloit. Puts a runner at first again and brings up the top of the batting order in Terrence Patterson. He has walked and scored, struck out, and was safe on an error. Runner at first. Throw over to first base, and the runner's back in time. Tom Barbie, the president of the Cedar Rapids Club, and Greg Cipher, and Gary Keppel, Wally Krause, talking to Bill Stoneman up here in the suite at the Vet.
And hopefully Bill is telling all those guys that help guide the ship that patience, patience, patience.
Stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off the heel of the right-handed hitter, Terrence Patterson of Beloit. 3-0. Midwest League Baseball at Cedar Rapids, and Beloit leads by those 3 runs. Runner at first. Stretch by Waters. Throw over to first, and the runner's back. And a left-hander throws in the Cedar Rapids bullpen, and the left-hander still throwing for Beloit. I should imagine he'll come on in the last half of the 7th inning.
Jamie Douglas is the Colonel Southpaw, and Kevin Culpepper for Beloit.
long as it's not Hill, who shut the door on Cedar Rapids last night.
10 strikeouts in 4 innings.
Pitch. High and outside. Throw to first. Runner back. Ball 1, strike 1. The batters now, at the start of the year, we were talking about the rule they're supposed to keep 1 foot in the batter's box. That about has, what is this, the 3rd week of the season, just about gone by the board. There's a swing and a line drive, base hit into left center field. The ball is picked up by Grants and thrown back in. Runners now at first and second. And Beloit has rattled the bats a bit here. Now they have a half a dozen hits in the game, and all of them are singles. So pecking away at Cedar Rapids, the Snappers.
Good analogy.
Well, I don't know how good it is, but it
makes sense.
There's the delivery. There's a strike it's called over the outside corner.
Well, great to see a lot of the kids and their parents still with us in the Papa John's Plaza with the temperature down to 52 degrees from Erskine Elementary.
Stretch, here's the pitch. Swung on and driven foul down the right field line. Got some wood on the ball and fouled it off. The count moves along now to strike 2 on the right-handed hitter, Luke Hughes. He's walked, had a single, and popped to the pitcher. Runners at first and second, and Chris Waters is ready, fires, curve ball. The batter tried to time it and strikes out. Luke Hughes. He tried to zero in on that sweeping curve ball, and the only thing he got was a lot of thin air. Waters records a second strikeout, and that brings up Deacon Burns, who has driven in 2 runs tonight. I said a moment ago they were all singles. Burns did have a double. Basically taking second base on the relay, but he gets credit for a double. There's a ball that's too low on the inside, left-handed hitter, Deacon Burns. Runners lead for Beloit. The pitch outside for a ball. Ball 2 and no strikes. 2 out. Or no, check that. 1 out. And 2 on. Again, Burns steps out of the batter's box. Outfield straight away here. At the bat, the pitch. Strike over the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. At the belt, here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. We go 2-2 and 2. 2 base runners. 1 out. Deacon Burns grounded out, doubled for 2 runs, and was called out on strikes in the first. There's a foul back out of play. Count remains at ball 2 and strike 2.
Bob, the runner at second, Dwayne White, making his Beloit debut out of the University of Kansas. I want to pose a question to you in a moment about a couple of star athletes from that school and get your thoughts on them.
There's a drive into center field for a base hit. Coming in, Giannotti. Here's his throw, and the runners will hold at first, second, and third. So the bases are loaded with 1 out, and the second hit of the night by Deacon Burns.
The runner at third, Dwayne White, was held by Kevin Bowles. Bob, I have some pictures of Wilt Chamberlain when he was at the University of Kansas. He loved running track and field. He almost fought Muhammad Ali after his pro basketball career. And I wonder if Wilt Chamberlain ever played baseball at Kansas.
Not to my knowledge. I think he tried high jumping.
Yes, he was very accomplished.
And was quite good at it.
He was also most people don't know this, he was a very good miler. He loved running the mile.
Now the stretch, here's the pitch. There's a swing and a foul off to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and 3 on.
Bob, it was George Mikan that they widened the lane for, or was it Wilt Chamberlain that they widened the lane?
For...
In the NBA, remember how the lane, or college basketball, the lane...
it was for Chamberlain.
Okay, I thought so. I wasn't sure if it was Mikan or Chamberlain.
Now the stretch, here's the pitch. Curved strike. He took a little bit off of it, and a 68-mile-an-hour curveball got in there for a called strike on David Winfrey of Beloit. The pitch, Winfrey swings and just got a piece of the ball.
I remember when my first year here with the Kernels in '96, Steve Renko was our pitching coach, and Renko played quarterback at Kansas.
I interviewed Wilt Chamberlain once and stood on a chair.
Oh, goodness. Oh, you'd about have to, yeah.
Here's the pitch. Inside and low for a ball. Ball 2, strike 2. And I barely got the microphone up to his chin.
He was a man of many different interests. He had a big mansion outside Los Angeles.
Stretch, here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Nice breaking ball by Waters. That was a good, solid, lively fastball that caught him. That brings up the left-handed batter, and there's no place to put a 347 hitter in Mark Samwich. Stretch, here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball that's playable between the mound and home plate. The third baseman is there. Sandoval makes the catch, and the side is retired, and Waters got himself out of a real mess.
It's time to get out of your seats. We've got a lot of energy over here yet.
Fly ball to Sandoval for the third out of the inning. No runs and 3 hits for Beloit. No errors and 3 left. And at the end of 6.5 innings, it's time for the 7th inning stretch with Beloit up 3-0 over the Kernels.
Home, the very word brings us all a sense of comfort and stability. It's where families reacquaint and refresh at the end of each day. It's important to have our homes properly insured. See Tanya Sedlock, your professional Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, about homeowners insurance from Pekin. Providing you with ample home protection at a cost that fits your budget is Tanya Sedlock's area of expertise. You'll be glad you talked to Tanya about homeowners insurance from Pekin Insurance. She's at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, guys. Sorry I'm late for lunch, but I have a good reason.
Let me
guess.
New purse, new shoes. Hey, new haircut.
Yeah, I had a change of heart with my hairstyle and stopped by Cost Cutters.
Oh.
So, what you think?
I think it looks great.
I love the color and the layers. Yeah, I like it and all, but I'm sure you'll change it next week.
Hey, my hair is always a struggle. One minute I love it, the next I'm ready for a whole new hair color. Cost Cutters is the only salon that can keep up with my changing style.
Ooh, remember when you had it short and spiky?
Or
when it was shoulder length and red.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
No, I should try shoulder length and red.
Chris?
Yeah,
all I know is that Cost Cutters is the only salon for me.
And me.
Ditto.
Hey, gang, for once we all agree.
Make your neighborhood Cost Cutters the only salon for you and your style. Cost Cutters, just your style. Cost Cutters is proud to support Eastern Iowa's most wholesome, affordable family entertainment, Cedar Rapids Kernels Baseball.
Yeah, we're the Denver School Girls designated for oh my God, yeah. 3 beds in a chance to win a watch from School Girls like 2 weeks from downtown today. First batter for the Kernels in the 7th, catcher, Tommy Wickett. And our School Girls designated band, Jerry Bree of the Northwest Side.
Jake, are you there?
Cedar.
Cutters, and I think what happened is we may have started playing our commercials before we finished up with that great seventh inning stretch sung by the kids from Erskine. We stayed here and listened to them sing the seventh inning stretch and then sent it back to the studio, and an error on John Rogers not getting us back on time. A new hurler for Beloit, Bob.
And that is Kevin Culpepper, a left-hander. His first pitch is a strike to the right-handed batting Tommy Duenas. The pitch inside for a ball, and the count now evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Kevin Culpepper, another one of the large pitchers of the Beloit staff at 6'5", 190 pounds. Changeup is a ground foul down outside of third. Ball 1 and strike 2. He's out of Toccoa, Georgia, and he was with the Quad Cities last year.
With 2 and 4 in this league, Bob, with the swing and 35 relief appearances, had 4 saves, a 5.53 ERA.
Well, the Minnesota Twins, it would seem, have sent Beloit some players. In fact, even for the Twins, there's a swing and a fly ball into center field. Misjudged a bit, but hauled in by Terrence Patterson. Came in, then had to go back and glove the ball to make it 1 out.
Jeff Johnson, who does such a great job covering us. In fact, Jeff wrote the wonderful profile of our manager, Bobby Magallanes, that was on the front page of the Gazette this morning. Jeff is a Twins fan, and Jeff Johnson is a strong advocate for the way the Twins have done things under Terry Ryan. Boy, the Twins just reload every year with great young talent that they plant in their farm system, or that develops from their farm system.
There's a ball that is low. Undoubtedly the star of the most recent minor league stint in the Minnesota Twins organization would be Joe Mauer, the catcher. Although he was injured a lot in the Quad Cities, he now is playing every day and is reaching his potential. Curve for a strike after another strike over the outside corner, and it's ball 1 and strike 2 to Jordan Rentz. Rentz is flied out and was called out on strikes. Cedar Rapids still has but 2 hits. Swing and a weak swing and a miss, and the Kernels now have struck out 11 times in this game. That brings up Billy Boyer.
Yeah, Joe Mauer has a brother on this pitching staff, Billy Mauer, who's sidelined with an injury for Beloit, but you think of guys like Michael Kadire, he came through this Midwest League, so did Luis Rivas, so did Bobby Kielty, who's now in Oakland A. Man, the Twins have really done a nice job the last decade in developing talent.
The pitch for a curve and a strike on the inside corner, 72-mile-an-hour curveball. 2 out, nobody on, last half of the 7th inning. Now the delivery, curveball right in the same spot. Right 2. Let's see if Boyer attacks this one. Outside and low for a ball. Ball 1, strike 2 with 2 out, nobody on, and the score, Beloit 3, Cedar Rapids nothing. Last half of the 7th inning. Left-hander fires. There's a swing and a miss. And 2 Kernels go down swinging in the last half of the 7th inning on no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. We have completed 7 innings. John Rogers gets ready to take you home here at the ballpark tonight as Cedar Rapids trails the Snappers of Beloit in Game 2 of the series. Remember, Nurses Night tomorrow night, noon game on Thursday. We want to see you out here at the ballpark the next couple of nights. 3 runs and 7 hits for Beloit, no runs and 2 hits, Cedar Rapids. We'll be back. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Cut 1, Term Lifeline, 60-second spot.
Term life insurance. Everybody should have the right protection, and there's only one place to get it. The Term Lifeline. I can't read this script anymore. There's the script. Listen, let me talk from my heart. We all know why we need term life insurance, in case the unforeseen happens. Well, I have a family too, and if anything happens to me, I want to make sure my house and my debts are handled, and my family has enough money to take care of them for a long time. So about a year ago, I called the Term Lifeline. I got a very affordable price for a $500,000 policy. I want to make sure my family's protected if something happens to me. If you already have term life insurance, call us and get more coverage. It never hurts. Or see if you're paying too much right now. If you don't have term life insurance, you definitely need to call us. Here's the number. 800-890-5049. 800-890-5049. That's 800-890-5049. Not available in all states.
Business for the 21st century with Advanced Systems.
For nearly 50 years, Advanced Systems has been providing office technology solutions. Whether you're looking for a simple multifunctional system or a complex software program, Advanced Systems is your solutions provider. We're continuing to build upon our tradition of providing outstanding service to each and every client.
Business for the 21st century with Advanced Systems.
Douglas will pitch the 8th inning with the Snappers ahead 3-0. They scored 3 runs on no hits in the top of the 6th inning, and all 3 runs were charged to Kernel starter Jesse Smith. Well, Bob Brooks had a chance to talk to Bill Stoneman earlier this evening, and our Kernel Did You Know question revolves around the former Cub and Expo right-hander Bill Stoneman. We'll give it to you here in the top of the 8th inning with Jamie Douglas on the hill. In fact, Bob may have a cut queued up for us, Bill Stoneman. Bob, what do you have?
Well, of course, the big question in baseball today is steroids and performance-enhancing drugs. And Bill Stoneman...
Here's a deep drive into right, way back Madrigal, and Warner looks up. It's out of here. Jamie Douglas is greeted rudely by a left-handed batter, Jeremy Pickrell, who makes it 4-0. It's 4-0 Beloit here in the 8th inning. Jeremy Pickrell with his 2nd home run of the season. And Jamie Douglas has his 2nd pitch of the 8th inning drilled out of here, way out of here over the right field wall. Boy, Bob, that's a very hot topic, steroids, and I know our listeners are going to love hearing what Bill said about it as you lead up to his comments.
And that home run, 390 feet. That's the best hit ball that this stadium has had in quite a while. Well, let's hear what Bill had to say, because his answer about it is fairly short.
Mine's real simple.
You have to have one.
Well, I have one, whether I have to or not. My perspective is real simple. There's just no room in baseball for steroids or any of these items that supposedly enhance performance or anything like that. I don't believe in it. I think you go out there with what you've got, give your best, and you ought to be facing players, competing against players who are out there with the same, just with the best they've got and nothing artificial about it.
You think baseball is making progress on that front?
Well, I think we're heading the right direction. It'd be nice to make more quick progress than we've been making. There are a lot of other elements to it. There's a players' union that you've got to go through to get things done, and thankfully there's a lot of public pressure now to make progress, and I think that's helped. The public pressure and the congressional pressure has helped move things forward. And I'll be happy when if our policy ever gets as strong as the Olympics, then at that point I'll be happy with it.
And that from Bill Stoneman on steroids and performance-enhancing drugs. There was a story today quoting Tom House, a former Major League player, who said that this stuff was rampant in 1960 and in 1970. And then Bud Selig testified before the Congress. He never heard of it until 1998. Man.
Well, I want to comment on Bill's comments in a moment. First of all, after the home run by Jeremy Pickrell, Trevor Plouffe lined one into right center. Richard Giannotti made a spectacular catch in right center. And then Corey Feiner grounded out to first, unassisted, with Michael Collins handling it. Giannotti with a terrific catch for the first out of the inning. And now the lefty Jamie Douglas is ahead of Dwayne White, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's 4-0 Snappers here in the top of the 8th inning. Lefty Jamie Douglas delivers to the left-handed batter, a sweeping curve outside, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. And Beloit with a leadoff homer from Jeremy Pickrell ahead 4-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. Jamie's 2-2. A deep drive to right, down the line. It's trouble if it's fair. It's a fair ball home run. A fair ball home run by left-handed hitting Dwayne White. 2 home runs in the inning struck by the Snappers, both left-handed batters, and they both come off lefty Jamie Douglas, and now the Snappers are putting some cushion in their lead, 5-0. Well, here's my comment, Bob. First of all, it was very refreshing how directly Bill Stoneman answered your question, and there's no room for it. I wish that Bud Selig and Donald Fuhrer and all 600 or 800 big league players would get in a banquet room or be sequestered, and Bill Stoneman could give the comments he just gave through you to our listeners, and maybe something would finally get done on this issue, because Bill Stoneman speaks as a former player.
Well, I think something will be done, and I think it will come very quickly.
Here's a little check swing number. It's a fair ball. Tommy Duenas picks it up, and he hasn't tagged the runner out. Yes, he does. He tagged the batter out. The batter is pleading that it was a foul ball, but Terrence Patterson is out as he checked his swing, and the ball went 3 feet to the right of home plate. Tommy Duenas pounced on it and tagged him out. A couple of long balls by the Snappers off lefty Jamie Douglas. They scored 2 runs on 2 home runs. There were no Colonel errors and nobody left by the Snappers. We'll get to our Colonel Did You Know question following those comments that Bob played, and boy, were they revealing from Bill Stoneman, who's watching the Kernels as they play an 8-game homestand here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. It hasn't gone well so far. After 7.5 innings, Beloit leads the Kernels 5-0. And this is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was news anchor for Channel 2. Now, with gas prices at $2 a gallon, check out Randy Kill Honda and save with great fuel mileage on all Hondas in stock. The safest family sedan, the Honda Accord, will definitely save the family pocketbook with 34 miles to the gallon. Get even better mileage with a compact Civic, getting you there at 38 miles to the gallon. Or check the amazing fuel mileage of the Honda Civic Hybrid, 48 miles to the gallon, and that's in city driving. Randy Kill Honda has a large selection of pre-owned Hondas, too, all with exceptional fuel mileage. Check them out at www.randykiel.com. Also, Randy Kiel offers a 7-year, 100,000-mile confidence guarantee on new vehicles. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. I'm saving on gas prices by driving my Honda, and you can too. See Randy Kiel Honda on Center Point Road Northeast.
ESPN Classic.
Get the network that brings you the greatest sports in history.
From Namath to Koufax.
From McEnroe to Jordan.
The greatest heroes.
In their greatest games.
Plus, the Emmy and Peabody Award-winning Sports Century.
Revealing profiles inside the lives of legends.
And real classics.
Movies for sports fans every Sunday night.
No wonder the LA Times calls ESPN Classic the best channel on television.
To get ESPN Classic, call your local cable or satellite provider now.
Big Kevin Culpepper, the lefty, sprung off the mound, sprinted toward the first base line, a third of the way up the line. He picked it up, whirled, and threw Giannotti out, 1 away on 1 pitch in the Colonel 8th. The play went 1-3. 5-0 Beloit. Our Colonel Did You Know question asks, did you know, well, now that the Montreal Expos are extinct, this question has even more meaning. Did you know that Bill Stoneman, who's visiting us this week, you just heard a clip from Bob's talk with him earlier tonight about steroid use. Did you know that Bill Stoneman provided the first great moment in Montreal Expo history when he threw a no-hitter in the 10th game of Montreal's inaugural season, 1969? Bill Stoneman did that, And then in 1972, Bill Stoneman authored a second no-hitter as an Expo. Bill Stoneman hurled 2 no-hitters as a Montreal Expo. That's our Colonel Did You Know question. It's 1-2 to Sean Rodriguez. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
Well, to the Springhouse, why don't you give Bill Stoneman a certificate, and maybe he'll take us out to dinner.
Boy, wouldn't
How about that?
Bill, that might be something we have to suggest to you after bringing up your 2 no-hitters, 1 in 69, 1 in 72. Bill Stoneman, Bob, for those that haven't seen him, he is not a big man.
No, he isn't. He's short and stocky.
The 2-2 is high.
He is simply way against. He's at the other end of the spectrum of the pitchers that we have seen that have come into this ballpark so far this year.
The payoff to Sean, high and away, ball 4. Sean Rodriguez is the first Colonel to reach since Sean reached on an error committed at third by David Winfrey back in the 5th inning. You know, Bob, there's a guy in the Hall of Fame by the name of Don Sutton that's about Bill Stoneman's height.
Well, there are a lot of pitchers that in his day that it didn't matter how tall they were. It was, could they get them out?
Exactly. Could they pitch? And Bill Stoneman could pitch, brother. A curve is a strike call to Freddy Sandoval. Bill played on those teams, those excellent Cub teams that Leo DeRocher skippered. He came up with a young lefty, he was telling me last year, by the name of Rich Nye. A pitch outside, a snap throw to first, and boy, that's embarrassing. The runner's out. Sean Rodriguez is out at first base. It goes 2-3, and boy, Bob, back to the drawing board for the Kernels. That's 2 guys thrown out by the catcher in situations where they had no business being thrown out.
Giannotti and Rodriguez were the 2 players, and they're wandering too far off and not concentrating on their business at hand.
Sandoval swings and misses, strike 2. Well, they say you have to reach rock bottom before you spring to the top, and the Kernels, here at home at least, we certainly don't want to belittle their record on the road, which is terrific, 8-7, but here at home we're in danger of dropping to 2-8, and I would have never believed that. A curve, and it's ball 2 to Freddie. 2-2 to Freddy Sandoval, 2 out, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, down 5-0. Swinging a foul by Freddie.
You've been talking about, and we have, about Bill Stoneman the last 2 days, and last night I was talking, too, about Fred Haney, who was the GM of the Anaheim Angels, and his association with the then-owner, the late Gene Autry.
Strike 3 called. Bob, finish up, please.
There's another man in that litany of general managers before Stoneman with an interesting history. Whitey Herzog, believe it or not, was a general manager of the Angels. And how long? From September the 18th of 1993 to January 11th of 1994.
And we'll talk about that.
So Whitey had a short tenure.
We'll talk about that when we return. As we go to the 9th, it's 5-0 Beloit. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
To make your landscaping dreams become a reality, see the experts at Keen's Material. Retaining walls, custom patios, walkways, and steps, Keen's Material has all the hardscape elements needed to complete your landscaping project. Need ideas? Visit Keen's Outdoor Display Area on 12th Avenue Southwest to see over 100 products showcased. Let your property reach its full potential with help from the experts at Keen's Material. Visit Keen's in Cedar Rapids, Coralville, and Eldridge, or on the web at keensmaterial.com.
I live for you, I feed your cats, I fold your undies at the laundromat, unless you want me to have them dry. I can pay for that. I'll work things out, things get bad. I'll shave my soul patch before I meet your dad. I'll wear a turtleneck to strategically hide my tattoos if I can. I'm getting the best, I'm winning your hand. I'm giving you all my time, but this Dr. Pepper is mine. Rich taste, forget it. This Dr. Pepper is mine. One taste and you get it. I'll shop with you, always be true. But I'll never share my Dr. Pepper with you. This Dr. Pepper is mine. Big and organic. So rich. This Dr. Pepper is mine. So refreshing taste. Drink it by the case. This Dr. Pepper is mine. Isn't even a word.
Rogers with you. Glad you're tuned in tonight in the zone. Luke Hughes is first up against lefty Jamie Douglas, and ball one is high and away. Luke, an infield single in the first. He walked and scored in the Beloit 3-run sixth inning. The Snappers own a 5-0 lead as Jamie Douglas misses in the dirt for ball two. Bob, that's right. Very few people remember who the guy affectionately known in St. Louis as the White Rat. He did make a comeback of sorts, however short-lived, with the Angels in the early 90s, and from what I remember about that, here's a swing and a miss, it was because the Angels didn't give him absolute power and carte blanche, and Whitey was used to that from Augie Bush. Augie, in fact, said he had a lifetime contract as long as he wanted it in St. Louis. Swing and a miss by the batter, and one thing about Whitey Herzog, he'll step away if he's not happy.
Well, besides that, I don't think the ownership was happy with him. So
that's their loss.
He wanted too much and too fast. And
well, I'll tell you what. Nothing against the Angels in the early 90s, but, man, what else did he need to prove? He won in Kansas City. He won in St. Louis. And unless he was making outrageous demands of the budget, I would have given him complete control because of his track record. The 2-2. Outside, and I know some people think that's wrong to give one man or woman absolute power, and you do have to be careful. There have to be checks and balances, but if anybody deserved that carte blanche, it was Whitey Herzog. The payoff pitch. Strike three called. Luke Hughes is a goner, and Jamie Douglas, working in his second inning out of the Colonel bullpen, records his first strikeout.
I presume that the McDonald, well, no, I imagine the Autreys still had the club at that time.
And I'm sure they were going through some transition at that time because the Angels, during that time, instead of putting a lot of stock in their farm system, they were signing a lot of aging free agents. Remember that, Bob?
Yes.
The Angels did a lot of that. And Gene Autry wanted so badly to have a World Series or a World Championship in his lifetime. That's why it was so gratifying to see his wife, his widow, in 2002 witness that Angel World Series win. Strike one on the outside corner to Deacon Burns.
I was talking to Bill Stoneman about the configuration of the ballpark there in Anaheim, because in watching on television, I've done a football game there, but Iowa beat the University of Texas there, and it was one of Hayden Fry's biggest victories, because he just swamped the University of Texas, a team that he thought treated him badly when he was at North Texas.
I'm sure they did. They probably spurned him. Ball three is high. We'll have a look on the Colonel Curtin call at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. We're in the top of the ninth, and it's 3-1, the count's 3-1 to the batter, left-handed hitting Deacon Burns. The next delivery, swing and a miss on a changeup. Bob, when you called that game and the Iowa-Texas game, Anaheim Stadium had been reconfigured to suit the Rams, and it was an awful baseball stadium. Now it's a beautiful baseball stadium.
Well, yes, except for what I was talking to Stoneman about tonight, and that was that thing, the rock pile that the Disney's put out in center field.
Is he fond of that or not?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, that's...
I said, they've put the cameraman, the home plate cameraman is out in center field now, and he's stuck up in that rock pile.
It looks like a canyon. I know what you're talking about. The 3-2 to Deacon Burns from Jamie is up and in. A close shave of the whiskers as Jamie Douglas has issued a walk with one out here in the ninth. Beloit leading 5-0. Bob, what they were trying to do, Disney, and I agree, I don't want to say it failed, but it's not real attractive. They were trying to create what Kansas City has at Kauffman Stadium with the waterfall. Well, if you're going to create a waterfall and make it effective, you have to make it eye-catching, and that rock pile in left center at Angel Stadium is not real attractive.
Well, it's a thing that they have at both Disneyland and Disney World.
Oh, I see.
Those are some of the things that they have put in there. They have these rock piles.
Okay.
fake rock piles is what they are, and I guess Bill Stoneman's answer was that they wanted to have people recognize that this was a Disney affair.
Yeah, Disney property, you're right. Well, great insight, Bob, by asking. The 1-1 to David Winfrey. Ball 2, I had no idea. That's why Disney put that rock pile in left center at Angel Stadium. I really didn't. I thought they put it in.
Why wouldn't they put Mickey Mouse out there and let it go at that?
Exactly. A more friendly figure. Here's a high pop foul headed towards the Papa John's Plaza. And 3 Kernels give chase. Boyer from second, Michael Collins from first, and Warner Madrigal in right. It's been all Beloit tonight. We were scoreless through 5 innings, but then starter Jesse Smith walked the first 3 batters in the 6th, and all 3 scored. Chris Waters pitched well out of the Colonel bullpen, 2 scoreless innings. Although he gave up 4 hits, he struck out 3, walked 2. And now Jamie Douglas is even on the count to David Winfrey, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A ground ball, broken bat, base hit down the right field line. It'll send the runner Deacon Burns speeding to third, and it's 1st and 3rd for the Beloit Ball Club. That's their 10th hit. Bob, a tough break for Jamie Douglas. The batter broke his bat, but still was able to get enough on it to ground it to the left of Michael Collins.
Well, I give Winfrey a lot of credit there because he hit the ball behind the runner. He aimed it that way. He wanted to go to right field and poked it right down the line. Broken bat or not, Collins made a good effort to try and stop it, couldn't, and consequently he did what a good hitter should do, and he advanced the runner to third as Kermit Ronan goes out to the mound. John, the thing that we talked about steroids, all of that melange going on. The thing that worried me today about the Cedar Rapids Gazette and their sports page was the column about the 10 most admired athletes in the country and the fact that there was only 1 baseball player in the entire group, Derek Jeter of the Yankees.
Boy, Bob, in reading the article, a pitch goes behind the batter, ball 1, it slipped out of Jamie's hands. In putting all of my attention on the profile of Bobby Magallanes, I'm going to have to take another look at the Gazette. I did not see that, and that is very, very telling, because when I was growing up in the 60s, well, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Roberto Clemente, Carl Yastrzemski, Pete Rose, Gaylord Perry, Bob Gibson, at least 5 or 6 of those guys I just named would have been in the top 10. I believe that.
Well, there's only 1 now, and the whole focus of the column was on the fact that baseball needs humanizing.
It does. And
it does, yes.
That's what sets our game apart here in the minor leagues, is it is very human and up close and personal and memorable. But, yeah, you need characters. Take a guy like Dizzy Dean, swing and a miss. Take in the 70s, Mark Fidrich. Mark Zamwish has gone on strikes, and you're right. You know, you remember the sound clips of Barry Bonds basically telling the media that they destroyed his life, and whether that's true or not, it sticks in the mind of, well, that's pretty sour grapes right there.
Well, besides that, for the price.
Exactly.
The thing that has hurt baseball is the fact that the players do not associate well with the fans, and that they, in the fans' mind, make too much money for what they do.
And then add this, as you said, this awful mess with steroids, and some people are justifiably thinking, well, it's not the game it was. Now, we're not here to bash our big league brethren, far from it. We're here to lift up this great national pastime, and the good part is, and Bob, here's a swing and a miss by the batter, the good part is minor league attendance continues to set all-time records, so in our backyard, we think we're doing things pretty well with our players, but you're right, big league baseball needs somewhat of an overhaul. I'd agree with that. Ball 2 in the dirt, and maybe it'll take I'm not saying that the union should be broken, or that, I will say this, I think Bud Selig should be replaced as commissioner. As nice a guy as he may be, I don't think he's been real good for the game. Especially that debacle at the All-Star game in his own backyard.
Well, he got a heck of a stadium built in Milwaukee.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. A curve, strike 2 call to Jeremy Pickrell. And it's not just one guy that is responsible for only one baseball player being on that top 10 list that you cited, Bob. There are a lot of things that should be addressed, and Bill Stoneman alluded to some of them. The 2-2 to the left-handed batter. A curve over his head. It must have hit him on the batting helmet, and the bases are loaded now. So Jamie Douglas has struggled a little bit his last 3 times out. Saturday in Davenport, 2 innings pitched. He allowed 7 runs. Only 4 were earned, though, on 6 hits. And he's loaded the bases here in the top of the 9th inning as the Colonel lefty. Bases loaded. 2 out, and Trevor Plouffe, the batter, he could really put this one on ice for the Snappers. They already lead at 5-0 in the top of the 9th inning. Well, Bob, that's a great challenge for baseball, and that is to win back the younger generation and to create a genuine, more positive image. The 1-0 to Plouffe.
Well, I think baseball, the major leagues, in defense of that, would say, well, look at our attendance. And the attendance is good. There isn't any doubt about that in most of the markets.
Yeah. Ball 2 low to Plouffe, a right-handed hitter. Now Jamie misses high for ball 3.
Even up in the Twin Cities, the club that has this Beloit Snapper team in their farm system, they are, I don't see a great deal of complaining about their fan support anymore.
No, after they were threatened with contraction. Ball 4 is low, and that forces in a run. Deacon Burns is across the plate to make it 6-0 Snappers, and the bases are still loaded. That RBI for Trevor Plouffe, his 6th of the season. He was 0 for 4 coming into that at bat.
And he's still batting .095 for the year, and below that, as a matter of fact.
Corey Feiner, 0 for 4 in this game, takes a strike at the knees. Good news here tonight on a chilly evening with the temperatures warming throughout the week. 1,033, most of them from Erskine Elementary School. 1,033 here tonight.
What's your next school, John?
Next school is tomorrow. We'll be at Polk and Nixon tomorrow, Bob. Polk is in the heart of the city by Co. They have a lot of kids who are from a little bit lower socioeconomic strata, so it'll be great to be there tomorrow morning. And then Nixon is a really neat school on the northeast side. Swing and a miss by Corey Feiner.
And hard to find.
It's not easy to find, Bob. It's tucked away a little bit, isn't it?
Up in Hiawatha.
That's right. It's in Hiawatha. The 1-2 to Feiner. Ooh, Jamie just missed with the backdoor curve, and some of the Colonel fans behind home plate giving some guff to the plate umpire, Mike Weinstein. 2 out, bases loaded. Beloit batting in their half of the 9th with a 6-0 lead. They've out-hit us 10-2. A pitch in the dirt. That one goes in the Snapper dugout. 1 run is in, and another man will be sent back. No, both runners move up, and it's 7-0. Well, the Colonel troubles continue at home. It's now 7-0, and the Snappers have pretty much turned this one into a romp.
Well, the turning point in this game came, again, not from the solid hitting of Beloit, but from walks by Cedar Rapids pitching.
And there's another base on balls. The bases are loaded now with 2 out.
That occurred in the 6th inning, and that's when the trouble by Jesse Smith, he was doing well enough in the first 5, but then they got squeezed in the strike zone, and that was it.
That was it, because all 3 of those batters who walked scored. None of the runs were charged to Chris Waters, who came in relief for Jesse Smith. Here's a ball high to the left-handed batter out of the University of Kansas, Dwayne White. We had Brent Del Chiaro as a catcher a few seasons ago out of the University of Kansas. There's a strike. It's 1-1 to the left-handed batter, who drilled a home run just inside the foul pole down the right field line his last time up against Jamie. Ball 2 sails inside, almost hit the batter. Bases loaded, 2 out. The Snappers have scored a pair and lead it comfortably now in the 9th, 7-0. Strike 2 called on the outside edge to the batter. Yeah, whenever I think of Kansas, Bob, I not only think of Wilt Chamberlain, but I think of Gale Sayers. Ooh, what a running back he was before that knee injury cut his career short. Oh, a pitch outside and blocked by Tommy Duenas. Last I heard, Sayers was the AD at Kansas, or I don't know what he's doing now.
I believe he's in the fundraising department at KU.
I know he makes some special autograph appearances in Chicago a few times a year. Here's the bases-loaded payoff pitch. Swinging a foul right back here, Bob.
Oh, I almost got one.
And I'm going to be hung in kangaroo court because I put my hands out, but as I was putting my hands out, I backed up. So kangaroo court fine for John Rogers.
How much?
Oh, it's probably going to cost me $25. That's
25 cents, I hope.
Well, no, it'll be a day's meal plus $5 on the road. Ball 4, and Jamie Douglas may have to be lifted here. The poor kid has just run into a ninth-inning rut where he can't get that final out. Another run crosses the plate for the Snappers, and they're now on top.
Pitching change.
Yes, 8-0. The pitching change will bring in T.J. Stanton. So Jamie Douglas goes 1 2/3, and Jamie was tagged for 5 runs in 1 2/3 on 1, 2, 3 hits. Douglas struck out 2 batters. He walked 4, and he hit 1. So not the outing Jamie Douglas was hoping for. T.J. Stanton will now take over. Bob, going back to that football game you called at Angels Stadium when Hayden Fry coached the Hawkeyes, there was a time when the Rams played in the Coliseum and then moved to Anaheim. Then Al Davis moved his Raiders to the Coliseum, so the NFL had 2 franchises in Los Angeles. And I'm still shocked that after, I think it's been almost 8 or 9 years since the Rams moved to St. Louis, when will Los Angeles, if ever, get pro football again?
Oh, I think they'll get it when they when they give somebody a new stadium. That's about the way if they do not, why, I don't see any hue and cry by people in Los Angeles to have the National Football League out there. They are happy with the games on television
and the Chargers down the highway. And quite frankly, LA's always been a laid-back place.
They have other things to do.
Exactly. Kind of why professional baseball hasn't exactly set attendance, or Major League Baseball hasn't done as well as we thought it would in Florida. T.J. Stanton comes on, and he misses low and away to Terrence Patterson. This game is kind of crawling along here in the 9th inning with the Snappers having out-hit us 10-2, and they have the bases loaded with 2 out. T.J. Stanton, Colonel right-hander, on a 1-0 pitch to the leadoff batter. And it's a strike called. Yeah, I've been to the Coliseum, Bob, in 1984. I went to the Summer Olympics. My brother was going to college in Pomona, California. And it's not in a great neighborhood.
Oh, no. No. Never has been.
The 1-1 from T.J. Of course, the problem with the Rose Bowl is parking.
Well, they can make the parking there if they wanted to. But,
okay.
Mainly because they have a golf course. The Brookside Golf Course is all around the Rose Bowl, and they do use that for parking on the Rose Bowl and the UCLA games.
Uh-oh, here's a flare dumped way down to the right field corner. Let's see if Kevin Bowles, he will play good sportsman and hold the third runner at third base. 2 runners have scored, and now it's a 10-0 beating the Kernels are suffering. Terrence Patterson just reached out and got the meat of the bat on it and sent it soaring down the right field line for a 2-run double. And again, we thank John Bowles because, you never, ever rub it in. And John's a professional. That runner, Dwayne White, could have crawled home from third once he got there. But John Bowles is calling off the attack now, isn't he, Bob?
I would think so.
It's 10-0. Here's a curve, a strike from T.J. Stanton, and it'll be back to the drawing board for the Kernels tomorrow. Boy, it's tough to get it handed to you at home on a chilly evening, but that's part of the growth and learning and the pride that goes into wearing that uniform professionally. 10-0 Snappers and a curve outside to Luke Hughes.
Well, the right-handed pitcher, Carl Galinas, will be making his start for Cedar Rapids against Kyle Waldrop tomorrow.
And it'll be Carl's second start.
It'll be two right-handers. Galinas pitched on the road.
Yes, he pitched well, Bob. 5 scoreless innings on Friday night in a Kernel loss. One we let get away in Davenport. We were leading 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's a curve from Stanton, and it's ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, and the Snappers' Luke Hughes, who started this inning by striking out looking, is batting for the second time. Beloit has struck for 5 runs here in the 9th inning. A curve and a swing and a miss. That does it. The Snappers tack on 5, and as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, Beloit is way ahead of the Kernels now, 10-0. This is Kernel baseball in the zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Saturday morning. It's over easy as Scott Unash dishes up the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner here on the Zone. It's a hearty helping of local sports coverage from the Metro and beyond. All the latest prep news, the way only Scott can serve it up, cooked up live from this week's featured Cedar Rapids Marion Hy-Vee Kitchen. Get your Saturday breakfast special by tuning in to the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner, live from the Hy-Vee Kitchen at 1843 Johnson Avenue Northwest. Only here on The Zone.
Bottom of the 9th, it's been all Snappers tonight. It was scoreless through 5 innings, but since then, a 3-run 6th, a 2-run 8th, a 5-run 9th. It'll be Drew Toussaint to try to ignite the Kernels and maybe get them started in the right direction for the third game of the series tomorrow evening. 6:10 is South Slope Communications triple play showtime, and Bob and I will be looking forward to bringing you Game 3 starting at 6:30 tomorrow evening, Nurses Recognition Night, and then the Cinco de Mayo noon game with all those great Mexican drink and menu items for Thursday. Drew Toussaint is ahead 2-0. Drew is 0 for 3 tonight. The Kernels, as Bob said earlier, only have 2 hits. One by Giannotti back in the 3rd, and the other a bunt single or a base hit off the pitcher's glove by Boyer in the 5th. Swing and a miss by Drew.
Plus that, 28 times they've struck out in 2 games.
So we have to really turn things around pretty soon here. Here's a swing and a miss, strike 2 on Drew Toussaint.
Well, on Mother's Day, treat Mom to a brunch that she'll never forget. It's delicious. All-you-can-eat buffet in the region's largest and most beautiful outdoor dining area here at the ballpark. That's Veterans Memorial Stadium on Sunday, May the 8th, 11 a.m. until game time at 2 o'clock. It's going to be a terrific assortment of food, desserts, and the omelet station and the whole brunch affair. So have brunch for lunch at the ballpark.
And treat Mom. She'll also get a free carnation, Bob, and there will be white linen tablecloths on the tables in the pregame picnic area. Ball 3 to Drew. Now he pops one foul, and if you think it's a little bit too far-fetched or not formal enough, please give us a real hard look and come out, because you will have Mom beaming on Sunday for the food and the experience, and then she can stay after the brunch and treat her to the ball game. The weather's supposed to be fantastic. Ball 4 to Drew Toussaint from Kevin Culpepper.
Maybe I'll bring out a candelabra.
Oh, brother, that would add.
Dress it up a little.
Oh, yes. And that's just $17 for adults. It includes the ticket to the game. Kids 12 and under are $12 for the all-you-can-eat brunch and the ticket to the game. And if you have little ones 3 and under, well, they get in free on Sunday. I really give the Kernel front office staff credit for thinking out of the box, because ordinarily, here's a line drive into left by Michael Collins. That's the third Kernel hit of the night. Stopping at second, Drew Toussaint. Michael Collins has reached with a one-out or a single. Nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth. Bob, traditionally, Mother's Day games in the minor leagues are a tough draw because everybody is treating Mom to brunch. So what Jack Rader and Doug Nelson and Dave Soper thought is, well, let's give them the one thing that usually keeps them from maybe coming to the ballpark. Let's give Mom brunch.
Well, I have the complete rundown here, and it would take until the morning hours to read it all.
You mean all the great things on the menu?
Yes. For instance, well, let's see. The hot food would include bacon, country sausage, roast Iowa loin of pork, pasta marinara with grilled chicken, eggs Benedict.
Well, there's that.
The omelet station.
There's that growl I told you that would surface from my stomach. 1-1 to Warner Madrigal. He's
pancakes, fresh and French toast, honey baked ham, roast beef.
That sounds like a carving station. Swing and a miss by Warner. And Bob, there's I want you to keep reading because there's some more good delights.
Cheesecake, brownies, key lime pie, bread pudding, jumbo cookies, caramel pecan sticky buns, strawberry shortcake, and a base hit.
A base hit for Warner Madrigal. Toussaint is held at third. The bases are loaded. Nobody out for the Kernels here in the bottom of the ninth, but Beloit enjoys a 10-0 lead. Yeah, Bob, that's some opportunity. We encourage you to come on out. The weather is supposed to be warm and mild for Sunday, Mother's Day. Brunch at the ballpark. Moms always like to be surprised. Tommy Duenas will now have a chance to do what Bob and I hoped would happen here in the ninth, maybe set the stage for a better performance tomorrow. Tommy pops one foul onto the first base grandstand roof. 1,033 here tonight.
Well, let's go to the scoreboard. We'll have the Cubs in Milwaukee, and Milwaukee comes back with 3 in the last half of the 7th inning. The Brewers winning a few these days. They defeated the Cubs by the score of 3-1. Out-hit them 7-5.
The 0-1 to Duenas is cut on and fouled over Bobby Magallanes. Bobby had to duck out of the way of that one.
Pittsburgh and Houston are 4-4 after 7. San Francisco and Arizona, no score after 2. Colorado and San Diego just started. Washington and the Dodgers just getting ready. Florida defeats Atlanta by the score of 9-6. The St. Louis Cardinals win again over Cincinnati, 4-2, and the Phils beat the Mets 10-3 in New York.
A broken bat bouncer to short. The only play for Plouffe is to throw Duenas out, and crossing the plate is Drew Toussaint to make it 10-1.
There goes the shutout.
There goes the shutout. Trevor Plouffe threw out Tommy Duenas. It went 6-3. Toussaint scored. Collins went to third. Madrigal moved to second. Bob's taking a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Gary Shubat, Dale Thompson, and Lanny Peterson. Jordan Renz with a couple of ducks on the pond. Jordan's been held hitless tonight, 0-for-3. Culpepper's curve is cut on and missed, strike 1.
Well, the biggest disappointment in the game of baseball would be what team there?
I would say 2 teams have been disappointing. The Yankees and let me take one more guess at it. Here's ball, not guess, but opinion. Ball 1 is up and in. I'd say the Yankees have been a disappointment, and give me another few minutes. But, Bob, are you going to the American League?
Yes.
Okay.
where the Yankees disappointed their fans tonight.
Here's a drive into right center. That's a base hit. It's cut off by the center fielder, and 2-run score to make it 10-3. Collins scores, and Madrigal crosses the plate. It's 10-3 now. A 2-run single by Jordan Renz. Well, Bob, I guess that will mean another eruption. What did Tampa Bay get done tonight against the Yankees?
Well, 11-4. How about that?
Well,
that's against Kevin Brown, who goes 0-4, and his ERA is 8.25, and I would think he's close to retirement.
That's what I wonder, Bob. I'll tell you, sometimes pitchers' decline is very steep and abrupt, and I hope that's not the case with Kevin Brown, but sometimes I remember Andy Bennis finally had to hang it up, mainly for physical reasons, but I don't know about, I hope Joe Torre's job security remains intact, because it's not Joe Torre that is the problem with the Yankees. They're almost 8 games out, Bob.
Yes.
Baltimore's playing well, so are the defending champion Red Sox. A strike is into Billy Boyer.
And the Boston Stockings win tonight, 5-3 over Detroit. Both sides have a half a dozen hits in that game. And Toronto beats Baltimore 1-0 on a 3-hitter. 1 run, 5 hits, Toronto. Baltimore, no runs and 3 hits. The Chicago White Sox, the best record in baseball, defeating Kansas City at Chicago.
A drive into right by Billy Boyer, well stroked on an 0-2 pitch, but caught by Jeremy Pickrell, 2 away in the 9th inning. Kernels have scored 3, but still trail 10-3.
White Sox had 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Kansas City, 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Cleveland, Minnesota, the Indians win it 4-2. The Angels and Seattle have just started. There is no score in the top half of the first. Texas and Oakland, same story, top of the first.
Richard Giannotti spins out of the way of a pitch inside from Kevin Culpepper. Well, that takes care of the State Farm Major League scoreboard. We'll acknowledge our State Farm insurance agents on the curtain call, but due to the length of this game, I think it was wise and prudent of Bob to run through the scores while we were working here in the 9th inning. Slapping one foul into the red seats above the Colonel first base dugout. Strike 1 on Richard Giannotti. Richard has a double tonight, also has walked. He's batting right-handed as the Colonel leadoff batter, switch hitter against lefty Kevin Culpepper. A curve and a swing and a miss by Richard. Strike 2. Kernels have 3 runs on 3 hits here in the bottom of the 9th, but still a long way to go in terms of a miraculous rally like the Cardinals pulled off in Cincinnati last night, scoring 7 runs. A check swing. Did Giannotti go around? No, says the base umpire, Sean Francis.
They wanted to stay out here until 10 o'clock.
We're getting close. Approaching quarter till. Weather's supposed to be, at least 8 to 10 degrees warmer tomorrow. The 2-2. Ooh, it just missed the curve low and in, and now the count's full to Giannotti. The ball leaks by the pitcher, but backing up the play is Trevor Plouffe, the shortstop. Beloit stands to go to 12-11 on the season. The Kernels in danger of slipping to 10-15 in the early going.
Plouffe at shortstop on that diving play he made showed great ability there as a defensive player. He hadn't shown anything offensively, but for 18 years of age, why, that was a nice move he made.
Bob, that puts in perspective as Giannotti walks what a great shortstop we had here last year at 19 years old, Brandon Wood. Brandon was an all-star, and he is destined, I think, to have a fine big league career, but he really showed us a lot as a 19-year-old. Plouffe, a first-round draft pick of the Twins, and, of course, Brandon Wood was the Angel first-round pick 2 seasons ago, and Brandon kind of sputtered out the last month of the season because he was doggone tired, but he played dynamite for us last year as a 19-year-old shortstop.
And he's at Rancho Cucamonga this year.
And we'll talk to Tony Regans a little bit about some of the former Kernels as it's 2-0 to Sean Rodriguez. Brandon Wood has great power, played a terrific shortstop for the Kernels. Good team leader for a young guy. There's a strike to Sean, 2-1.
Wanted to make mention, too, of the Kernels youth baseball camps, ages 7 to 10, on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, June 15th, 16th, and 17th. So that's something you parents ought to think about.
You know, Bob, I'm glad you mentioned that. I've had parents come up to me and say, how in the world can you charge the affordable rate you do for these? Do you know this camp is worth several $100s? And it's well under that. It's very affordable, and Jack Rader does a great job keeping it affordable. Here's a smash to short on 2 hops, and Luke Hughes flips to first to get Sean Rodriguez, and the Kernels are gone in the ninth. Beloit stops the Kernels this evening by a final of 10-3. But the Kernels do show some life in the ninth inning, scoring 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no snapper errors. The Kernels left 2 and stranded 7 tonight. Beloit 10, the Kernels 3. We'll start our Colonel Curtain Call game wrap-up in just a moment. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Well, I'll tell you, there was nothing like seeing Touchdown Jesus looking down on the stadium, right? You know, walking through the tunnel in the Coliseum is something you never forget playing for USC, especially against a team like...
The roar of the crowd when you enter the horseshoe for the first time is something I'll never forget.
Mike Golick, Sean Salisbury,
Kirkstreet,
defensive end, quarterback,
Notre
Dame, class of 85, Southern Cal, 1986,
Ohio State, 1992.
Now, they're all on our team. The College Football Experience on ESPN Radio.
When it comes to insurance and financial services, think smart. Think about Farm Bureau Financial Services. For auto, home, life, farm and ranch, retirement funding, and business protection, call Ted Crow in Cedar Rapids. More products, more services, more of your needs met. So for more information, call Ted Crow in Cedar Rapids. Farm Bureau Financial Services. More than you think. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, West Des Moines, Iowa.
Time for the Colonel's Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Colonel's game, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Erskine Elementary School celebrated their school spirit and pride, but the Kernels weren't able to break out of our home doldrums, and a loss here tonight to Beloit. And Bob, we've got a few things to correct because we got to get back on track with some kind of consistency or some kind of winning at home.
Well, it's been funny how the games have gone here at Veterans Memorial Stadium because there have been some good moments. For instance, tonight, Jesse Smith was out of trouble in the first 2 innings because of double plays. And then he sailed through the 3rd and 4th and even into the 5th inning. Then in the 6th inning, 4 walks. You put a double in there with all of that and make it 5 walks after the reliever came in, and you have yourself a mess. And consequently, that's what Cedar Rapids has faced practically every home game here at the stadium. And then, too, you get the strikeouts. 16 last night, 13 tonight. That's 29 Ks in 2 games, and you absolutely can't do much if you have no offense to go with some pitching. Jesse Smith was squeezed by the umpire, but he still couldn't get a call, and consequently he got taken out of the ball game and lost his control. The whole thing boiled down to the runs that were scored there in the 6th inning of the ball game. That was the turning point, and then Beloit went on from there to gain confidence, get more hits, and had 10 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors, while Cedar Rapids scored 3 consolation runs in the last half of the 9th inning for 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error, avoiding the shutout. But still, there isn't any pop in the bats. There isn't any attacking the ball at the plate. There is a fact the pitchers sail along for a while and then get into not 1 walk or 2 walks, but they get into a slew of them. And consequently, the club drops to now 5 games below 500, 10 and 15, with Game 3 of the series against Beloit tomorrow night on Nurses Appreciation Night at 6:30. First pitch then. Fine night for baseball tomorrow, and we'll see if Galenas, who looked good on the road in Davenport and carried a winning situation to the 9th inning, but still could not get the W. The Kernels now will try to end their losing ways at home with a victory at the stadium, and hopefully tomorrow night when John gets done, he'll be able to say the Kernels have gone onto the field and had some high fives and the first win in the series, a series that Cedar Rapids now trails Beloit in 2 games to none. That's the story tonight, and it is rather the same old story.
Well, as you said, Bob, we'll try to get it turned around tomorrow evening. I'll give the final line score before we thank Bob. For the Snappers, 10 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. They left 10. The Kernels, 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. We stranded 7. The winning pitcher was the Snappers starter, Anthony Swarzak. He's 2-2. The Kernel loser, Jesse Smith, 1-1. And it was 1,033 on hand here to see it. The game took 3 hours and 11 minutes. Well, Bob, you and Scott are going to be a big help tomorrow. I'll be involved in some of the festivities during the game, the Nurses Recognition Night. We have over 500 nurses expected from 4 hospitals, so come on out and join them. And the weather's supposed to be even warmer, and hopefully the Kernels, with your help and some execution and some hits, like Bob said, can get things turned around here at home. We've slipped to 2-8 at home this season. Bob, thank you so much, and you and Scott will be on hand to help us tomorrow.
Well, I'm looking forward to having Scott up here. I hope he visits often, and he does a wonderful job for the zone and in all areas of sport. So it's always good to see him.
And, Bob, thanks for all the work with Bill Stoneman. That was wonderful to hear the comments in the 8th inning, and it spurred a lot of thought on our listeners' part, and I'm sure you'll have some more highlights during your sports reports tomorrow, but thank you for sharing those with us on the spot.
Oh, sure. Anytime.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you tomorrow if the Woim can toin.
That's right. That's what we're looking for. I'll be back in a moment. Thanks to Bob. I'll be back in a moment with our Access Direct play of the game, 10-3 Beloit. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Yes, spring is here. So is the bulky item cleanup in Cedar Rapids. Only specific wood and plastic articles are being accepted. The complete list is on the flyer you recently received in the mail. Be sure to check that flyer before putting out any items for city crews when they come to your neighborhood. If you have appliances, tires, and scrap metal you want to get rid of at no charge, follow the instructions on the back of the flyer. This reminder from your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. Better is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Papa John's.
Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99.
Papa John's. Better call Papa.
Back on the air, or in the zone, on the Colonel Curtin call. It was a 10-3 Beloit win this evening. Access Direct, as always, is proud to present our Access Direct play of the game. Access Direct encourages you to take a good look at their job and career opportunities by calling them 261-0260, 261-0260, or log on to Access Direct's website, www.accdir.com. Wonderful benefits at Access Direct, including a casual dress code, an $8.50 an hour starting wage, insurance, medical, dental, and vision insurance, that is, plus a 401k savings plan. Team players are needed at Access Direct. Apply. Access Direct play of the game came in the 3rd inning. The Kernels and Snappers were scoreless with 1 out. Richard Giannotti lashed a double, cranking it fair past first into the right field corner. Richard went into second with that 1 out double, advanced to third on a pitch in the dirt. But unfortunately, starter and winner Anthony Swarzak was able to get the next two Kernel hitters, and we left Richard Giannotti at third base where he was with one out. But Richard did make it to third on that double and wild pitch in the third, and that's why we chose Richard Giannotti's double as our Access Direct play of the game. It was 10-3 Beloit tonight. Up next on the Colonel Curtain Call, a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard here in the zone.
For the 7th consecutive year, Toyota Financial Services is encouraging elementary students throughout our community to read this summer. Toyota Financial Services believes that inspiring children to read brings families together, fosters imagination, and enhances knowledge. The Gazette shares Toyota Financial Services' belief in the value of reading. That's why they've teamed up to recognize and reward this summer's readers for their fabulous accomplishments. Toyota Financial Services and the Gazette, proud to stand with our community's children to enrich their lives.
When we met, it's forget we would never forget the Ojanos. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
Sends the Kernels behind in the series 2-0. We're back at it tomorrow evening, and we'll set the stage for Nurses Recognition Night in just a moment. Right now, though, State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, Gary Schubat, and Dale Thompson bring us a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. At Shea Stadium tonight, the Phillies trounced the Mets 10-3. Great America Ballpark in Cincinnati saw the Cardinals turn back the Reds 4-2. At Turner Field, the Marlins turned back the Braves 9-6. And they're in the 8th inning at Miller Park in Milwaukee, where the Brewers lead the Cubs 3-1. In the bottom of the 7th, at Minute Maid Park, it's the Pirates 4, the Astros 4. No score in the 2nd inning in Phoenix, where the Giants and Diamondbacks are playing. And the Rockies and Padres are just underway in San Diego. No score early on. Not underway yet. The Dodgers hosting the Nationals. Now in the American League, a final from Comerica Park in Detroit. It was Boston 5, the Tigers 3. The Blue Jays blanked the Orioles 1-0 tonight at Camden Yards. It was the Tampa Bay Devil Rays dismantling the Yankees 11-4 at Tropicana Field. In the bottom of the 8th at Comiskey, the White Sox lead the Royals 5-4. It's the Indians 4, the Twins 2. That game is in the top of the 7th at the Metrodome. Just underway at Safeco Field in Seattle, our parent club, the 2002 World Champion Angels, batting in the first, and it's no score with the Mariners. And just underway in Oakland, Texas batting in the first, no score with the Athletics. That's our complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, brought to you for the 10th year in a row by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Lanny Peterson. We're back at it tomorrow, a South Slope Communications triple play show time of 6:10. 6:10 is South Slope Communications triple play show time. We'll have the action for you beginning at 6:30 here in the zone. Now, earlier this evening, I kind of dropped the ball with our having the 7th inning stretch live on the air, and I want to thank Jake Lentz. Jake, you are absolutely, along with Sean, tops in your field for engineering, and I'm sorry to our listeners and to you, Jake, that I kind of flubbed it, but it was a very minor error, and we'll make sure that we keep things first class as always. Thanks to Jake Lentz for his great job again this evening at 2nd Avenue and 5th Streets in downtown Cedar Rapids. I'm John Rogers. It was a pleasure for Bob and I to bring you the action this evening, even though the result wasn't what we were hoping for. Beloit trouncing the Kernels 10-3. That does it. This has been Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming, already in progress.